with massive intensity. It's a marquee bantamweight showdown between Demetrious Johnson and Kid Yamamoto. A member of the UFC's two new weight classes, bantamweights Demetrious Johnson and Kid Yamamoto bear the responsibility of continuing the introduction of fans to the fast-paced action epitomized by the 135-pounders. No strangers to fans here in the States, Johnson has used his high-energy attack to defeat Nick Pace and Demetrious Page. But he will be met by a mere image in Japan's Yamamoto, an international superstar who adds knockout power to a stellar wrestling game. Coming up next, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson battles Kid Yamamoto.
Well, Joe, I was just going to talk about that Matt Hume, Demetrious Johnson's trainer, said this might be a fight between the two fastest fighters in the world, and already you see the energy of Demetrious Johnson.
And that very well may be the case, Mike. Demetrious Johnson is a little lightning bolt, man. That dude moves so fast. He's got great striking technique, and as you said, he is a student, protege of the great Matt Hume, who's an excellent trainer, and there you see Matt. This kid is great. I got a chance to see him fight in the WEC. Fantastic technique, great endurance, and really a perfect stylistic matchup for Kid Yamamoto's debut.
24 years old is Johnson. His longtime trainer, Matt Hume, spent a lot of time on the Japanese fight scene. He trained and judged. He was always around, so he knows Kid Yamamoto very, very well.
Absolutely. Well, Matt Hume knows every fighter on the planet very, very well, but especially the great Japanese fighters like Yamamoto. He's had a chance to see him perform live many, many times. And as I said, Demetrious Johnson is one of his best students, and really a perfect stylistic matchup here.
12-1 in his mixed martial arts career. WEC veteran Demetrious Johnson making his UFC debut tonight. The kid has arrived, set to fight in the UFC. 18 wins in his mixed martial arts career, a huge star in Japan. Ultra aggressive, heavy hands, father an Olympic wrestler. He's an outstanding wrestler. Fought 2 times in Hawaii. Tonight, he fights for the first time on the mainland.
Yeah, he is an outstanding wrestler, but you know what? He's really a great striker as well. And it's kind of interesting that his striking has really been one of the things that we've seen the most out of him. He has actually fought in K1 competitions, did very well against Masato, who's one of Japan's best, even knocked Masato down. Just a tremendous athlete, a great warrior, just a guy who's born to be fighting.
Got a really Western-style attitude, trained with Enson Inoue for years, and I mean, he is a savage with his striking, Joe. He's always looking for the finish.
Always aggressive, always exciting, and you know, one of the most highly anticipated acquisitions from Japan. So many American fans have been looking for Kid Yamamoto to be fighting in the United States for so long, and finally he's here. There was talk of him fighting a long time ago at the UFC at 155, but you know, that's not really his natural weight class. 135 is. This is the perfect spot for him, and very excited to see him make his UFC debut here tonight.
UFC fans all over the world able to view this fight tonight on Facebook. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget, top of the hour, UFC prelims live on Spike later tonight on pay-per-view. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, Kid Yamamoto.
I think it's so awesome that we're having these fights on Facebook.
Yeah, it's great. Bantamweight debut. Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight battle. Yamamoto, 33 years old, 9 years the elder of Johnson. Everything else is virtually identical. With the introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Facebook as this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC Bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a pancration fighter holding a professional record, 12 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Parkland, Washington, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 18 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Tokyo, Japan, Kid Yamamoto! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki.
Mario Yamasaki, our referee, the beautiful Ariani. Is this a showcase of the 2 fastest fighters in the world? Yamamoto and Johnson.
Here we go, first round, you ready? You ready? Let's go, come on!
Here we go! Black trunks for Johnson, purple trunks for Yamamoto, southpaw. Who will find the range and engage first?
One thing I'm noting, Mike, is the distance between these guys. They're putting a lot of distance between each other, and that's out of respect for the speed. Both guys know that they can close the distance very quickly. Look how far apart they are from each other. This is a good 3 or 4 feet further away from each other than you normally see fighters. And that's why. Look how quickly they can close the distance.
Quick step forward, good left hand by Yamamoto.
Yeah, look how far out Yamamoto is. And look how quick his counters are.
Johnson switches his stance. And even the corner says, keep your distance.
Yeah, they both have to be very acutely aware of each other's ability to just explode and literally move quicker than you can react.
Leg kick by Johnson. Counter by Yamamoto. In and out at a lightning pace, good counter again.
Very nice leg kick by Johnson.
Johnson trying to find that range a little bit now here, Joe.
Look how much more these guys move on their toes, too. You don't see any of that plodding Muay Thai style with these two. They're both constantly bouncing. Big shot by Demetrious, stuffed by Yamamoto. Yamamoto, as you said, excellent wrestler.
1972 Olympian, his father. Both his sisters competed in wrestling at a high level. He finished 4th in Japan's prestigious Emperor's Cup.
And he was 24 years old when he first got into MMA, and the way he got into it was his sister gave him a video of some MMA fights, and he was wrestling at the time, and he just looked at it and said, I think I'm stronger than those guys, and that's what started out his mixed martial arts career.
Actually went to high school in Arizona, did Yamamoto, and won 3 state championships in Arizona, 112 career wins.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Just about to the midway point of the round.
I know at one point in time he was trying to train for the Japanese Olympic team, but he broke his arm.
Missed there,
takedown.
and Johnson
Beautiful.
takes advantage.
Beautiful job by Johnson. Yamamoto using half guard, trying to get up. Very nice use of the underhook. Got right back up to his feet.
UFC 126 live on pay-per-view tonight. Order now. Call your cable or satellite provider. Use your remote. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort for the middleweight title. Franklin and Griffin, Bader and Jones, plus UFC prelims live, free on Spike, top of the hour. It all begins 9 in the east, 6 in the west.
Nice counter, very beautiful straight left there by Yamamoto. Right underneath it and down again. Beautiful job by Mighty Mouse. And you can hear Matt Hume giving him instructions in the corner there. He wants him to get his head down. He wants to flatten his shoulders down and hold him in place. He doesn't want Yamamoto to be able to shrimp and hip escape. And Yamamoto bucks and moves, and he's out. Very nicely done. Oh, beautiful combination by Demetrious.
Oh, just missed with the head kick.
Nice knee to the body by Johnson.
Good knee. You could hear the connection, Joe.
Yeah, powerful knee there. Yamamoto's struggling a bit to get his groove, Mike. You know, he's been taken down twice by Johnson.
24-year-old Mighty Mouse, Demetrious Johnson.
What a takedown. Look at the speed of that, Mike. Ducking under that shot. I mean, I want to see that in the replay. That was absolutely beautiful.
You want to talk about exploding.
He's looking for that Kimura, too, on the left arm.
Watch the back of the head.
15 seconds.
Big, big round from Mighty Mouse Johnson.
Finishes the round on top.
Huge round for Mighty Mouse Johnson. Let's take a look at that takedown again. Look at the speed here, Mike. Look at that. Perfect timing. Can I see that again? Because that is just, the timing in that is just outstanding. And there's a beautiful right hand he lands. Johnson really taking it to Yamamoto. And here, look at this takedown. Check this out. Look at that. I mean, you're talking about like an inch. He gets under it by like an inch. Perfect, absolutely perfect timing by Demetrious Johnson.
He's only thinking about that. Hit him with one hit. You can go first. Breathe. If you get taken down, stand right up. Just go forward.
Once you get him down,
Matt Hume.
control those wrists. He's going for the underhook on the far side, just what we worked on. You got him, Deej. He's going to tire out even more.
Very confident Mighty Mouse Johnson coming into the second, Mike.
Huge opportunity, one that he was very excited about, to fight Kid Yamamoto. Not only Kid Yamamoto, but his UFC debut all on the same night for Demetrious Johnson. But Yamamoto's always one strike away from a finish. We've seen it in his career many times. Johnson started to close that gap, Joe, that you spoke of as the round continued. You got a little bit more in range, and it paid off late in the round.
Well, Johnson is clearly very well trained, Mike, and you heard Matt Hume talking in the corner saying he's going for that underhook, control the hand. This is exactly what we trained for. You can see that he knows when Yamamoto's going to punch to duck under it. They've got this all planned out. For Yamamoto, he's really got to get his groove on and show some of that dynamic striking that made him one of the most popular fighters in Japan.
And that goes back to what we mentioned during the walk-ins of how well Matt Hume knows Yamamoto and his tendencies, watching him fight for so many years. Yamamoto had some nice counters in round one. Nice right hand by Johnson.
Yamamoto goes to the takedown. Johnson right back up to his feet and lands a nice knee. And there's a kick and back up to his feet again after he falls.
Johnson had a great fight with Brad Pickett on the Aldo versus Faber card.
Nice leg kick.
"90 seconds old, round number 2.
Kid keeps feinting with that knee. Low kick. Kid keeps feinting with that knee, Mike, showing him that left knee, almost as if like to warn him as he's trying to shoot, to give him something to think about. Let's take a look at the low kick here, and no doubt about that, ladies and gentlemen. Right to the fancy pants.
Unintentional.
By the way, those are some beautiful shorts.
They might be.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, one of the best, if not the best, ever.
Wonder if I could buy a pair anywhere.
I bet you could. I'm gonna get them for you for your birthday. When's your birthday? Don't say it. Now, because of you known as Fancy Pants.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful takedown. Oh, man. Good recovery by Kid.
Johnson really switches his stance up a lot, Joe, and he comes in from all kinds of different angles.
He is so fast. I mean, he's the first guy that I've ever seen that's outspeeding Kid Yamamoto.
And that's interesting you say that, because tonight we wondered, would Kid for the first time not be the fastest fighter? Yamamoto saw that shot coming.
He covers the distance so well, though. He's taking it too, Kid Yamamoto, Mike. He's tagging him. And beautiful job of ducking under things, too. Ducking under the counters, and he's constantly keeping him guessing. Between punches and takedown attempts. And look at him, he's barely even breathing.
And what a key that is as well, Joe. If you just start solely throwing strikes and there's no fear of a takedown, your opponent adjusts much more easily. But with the fear of the takedown, he's got Yamamoto off balance.
Absolutely, and it's one of the most important and overlooked aspects by a lot of younger fighters who like to stand. You know, you like to stand, you like to train punches, but this is mixed martial arts. And the more you get your opponent guessing, the more you can land those punches. And again, look at that, throws that punch and ducks under in lightning speed, and he's got Yamamoto down again. And Yamamoto is starting to show some frustration on his face, Mike. And they're saying control that underhook, and it's on the right side, which is the same side as the half guard, and that's how he got back up to his feet.
Under 90 seconds left in round 2. Once had a 14-fight win streak, did Kid Yamamoto. Yamamoto tried to counter with the right hook.
Wow.
Ducked under again, perfect timing.
Like a lightning bolt, man. That is the fastest guy I've ever seen in the octagon by far. I can't even think of a close second.
He's having fun, he's fast, and entertaining
Lands a knee on the way out as well. And it's not just speed, Mike. Look at his conditioning. I mean, here he is, 2 rounds at a furious pace. The dude's barely breathing heavy. But Kid Yamamoto, you have to point out, always dangerous. He can end a fight with 1 shot at any time. If Demetrious makes a mistake, and look at that, takes him down again. Spins to the back, Yamamoto back up. Yamamoto's got him down, but he ate a knee. He ate a knee.
They keep on.
Okay, I think he was saying it's an illegal knee, and Yamamoto stopped like a gentleman. Very good sportsmanship by Yamamoto. Step back.
Johnson recognizing it as well, Joe, saying I was kind of on my way up. Final seconds of the round.
Okay, relax. Relax and breathe. Bring the heart rate down. Okay.
Water.
He's given up on your takedowns.
Yep.
When you try takedowns, he's given up on them. Okay. He's slowing down. He's going to have a little bit of energy back at the start of the round, and then it's going to dwindle fast. Okay. So.
Water.
In and out, same way you're doing. Don't overextend. In and out, don't overextend. Work your takedowns. When you get the takedown, you got to keep it back.
Speaking of takedowns, let's look at him here. I mean, the speed of Mighty Mouse Johnson is something to behold. The speed and timing. Brilliant takedowns. What a very well-rounded young fighter. And that speed is an amazing attribute. Speed and technique. And they're very, very confident in his conditioning as well. You heard Matt Hume in the corner saying that he believes Yamamoto is going to start out well and then tire out.
You ready?
And they want Mighty Mouse to stay on him.
Third and final round. UFC bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz, Joseph Benavidez, Brad Pickett, Scott Jorgensen, Yamamoto now in the UFC, Demetrious Johnson making his debut. Bantamweight division just stacked. Stay aggressive, don't get caught.
We showed a very good chin eating that knee by Yamamoto in that last round. That was the first significant strike that Kid has been able to land.
Again, he led with the hands, Joe, and then boom, finished it.
It's
1-3
really
takedown.
too fast for Yamamoto to react to.
And again, you're talking about a spectacular wrestler in Kid Yamamoto.
Yeah, and he has a surprised look on his face every time he's getting taken down.
UFC 126 live on pay-per-view tonight. Order now. Call your cable or satellite provider. Use your remote. UFC champion Anderson the Spider Silva battles Vitor the Phenom Belfort for the UFC middleweight title. Plus, UFC prelims live free on Spike. Top of the hour. It all begins at 9 in the East, 6 in the West.
And what a stacked card we got for you tonight, folks. This is one of the most stacked cards we've had in a long time. And the prelims have been all action so far.
Oh, man. Facebook.
It's in the air tonight.
Something is in the air tonight.
Yeah, everyone knows this is a huge event. And the significance of the Belfort-Anderson Silva fight is really carrying over to all the other fights. There's so much hype in this air tonight.
I mean, Miguel Torres makes his UFC debut.
Yeah. Beautiful right hand. Mighty Mouse landed again. I mean, and look, the dude just doesn't get tired. He just keeps coming at him at the exact same clip.
Under 3 now.
Kid looks sluggish in this third round, Mike. Good stiff right hand there. And Kid he's going after Mighty Mouse here. But Mighty Mouse has been able to time his punches and drop under them, and that's what he's got to be careful of here in the third. Yamamoto looks visibly frustrated. And God, look at that takedown, man. He's going for a guillotine. He's holding on to the neck. Matt Hume said, keep it, keep it. Good scramble, stays on top.
Just a frenetic pace.
Yeah, he's got to deepen that wizard. Okay, lost the wizard.
Yamamoto's going to have to throw something here.
He's got 2 minutes to go. I just don't think he knows how to deal with this kid.
It's crazy when all of a sudden you got somebody who not only can match your speed, but might
He tagged him,
be
Mike.
faster.
He tagged him with a left hook. He's wobbly. And a right behind it.
And the kick
Again,
and the punch.
another left hook and a kick to the body, and he's got him down. Man, this is a rout.
Uriah Faber moving to 135. Man, the matchups we're going to see in the future at 135, spectacular.
I thought this was going to be an excellent matchup. I did not think that Mighty Mouse was going to be able to make Kid Yamamoto look average. That's what's so surprising about this fight, Mike.
Looking to claim victory in his UFC debut. Good knee by Yamamoto. A minute left in the fight.
Not exactly sure where that knee landed. I think it might have landed on a leg. But he's trying to stop him. He's trying to do something. He just can't quite figure out the style and the speed of Demetrious Johnson.
Top of the hour, UFC prelims live, free on Spike.
God, the speed of this kid's takedowns is ridiculous.
Michihiro Omagawa, Chad Mendes, Paul Kelly, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Top of the hour on Spike.
That's a hell of a fight. Paul Kelly and Donald Cerrone, that is a hell of a fight.
Clock ticking down, 15 seconds.
This is an incredible performance by Demetrious Johnson. Just absolutely dominated Kid Yamamoto. Highly anticipated debut of Yamamoto. Spoiled by Demetrious Johnson. No doubt about it, Mike. I don't think there can be any debate.
Absolutely none at all.
And if you've never seen Kid Yamamoto fight before, you would have never understood what the hype was all about. This is how good Demetrious Johnson is, and how fast.
Frustrated Kid Yamamoto.
These takedowns, I mean, some of the best I have ever seen, and the fastest I've ever seen in this division. Demetrious Johnson just had an outstanding game plan tonight and executed it to perfection. Over and over again, he was able to close the distance, surprise Yamamoto, and check out this left hook. Clips him, had him hurt, had him wobbled,
That hurt.
Just beautiful performance.
That's okay.
Mighty Mouse talking about to Leon Tabs at the end swell. Hey, that hurts. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson.
Thank you, man.
Very classy, very respectful, great fighter, Kid Yamamoto.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Mighty Mouse Johnson. Mighty Mouse, outstanding performance tonight, man. I mean, the speed of your takedowns, I've got to tell you, that might be the fastest takedowns I've ever seen in all the fights I've called.
Thank you, Joe Rogan. First, I want to give big thanks to my sponsor, Xbox. Really stepped up. I really appreciate you guys supporting MMA. We need a lot more guys out there to support us. And everybody on my fans, go to Facebook, go to Xbox, say like, and thank you, Dana Silva, for putting this fight on Facebook.
Now, the transitions between the striking and the takedowns, let's take a look at that up on the big screen. I mean, you really were ducking under his punches to perfection tonight.
Yeah, you know, he's a very tough guy. He has good striking, he hits hard, and, you know, people might be like, oh, it's boring, but you gotta understand, me and him both have good footwork, and we both understand our range so well. So if I overextend, I'm gonna get knocked out like everybody else does in the past from that right hook of his.
Well, you did a fantastic job tonight. I can't wait to see you again. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
After party at McFadden, Rio.
Great job, Demetrious Johnson. Congratulations on a wonderful victory. Glad you were with us on Facebook. Tune in to Spike, top of the hour, UFC 126 prelims live. Omagawa Mendes, Kelly Cerrone, and so much more. Super Saturday, Las Vegas, Nevada. Later tonight on pay-per-view, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay, the UFC middleweight title is on the line as Anderson Silva takes on Vitor Belfort. Also on pay-per-view, former champions collide. It's Rich Franklin and Forrest Griffin. And in another great fight at 205, John Bones Jones takes on unbeaten Ryan Bader. But the action begins with UFC 126 prelims live on Spike. In the featherweight division, Michihiro Omagawa takes on Uriah Faber teammate Chad Money Mendes. And in the lightweight division, it's Paul Kelly welcoming Donald Cerrone to the UFC. And all the action begins right here, right now, on Spike. We welcome you live inside the sold-out Mandalay Bay Event Center. This is UFC 126, prelims live on Spike. Fans are ready for one of the biggest fights in UFC history, the matchup for the middleweight title, later tonight on pay-per-view. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. My partner is always Joe Rogan. The night has finally arrived. Anderson Silva will fight Vitor Belfort.
The most highly anticipated matchup in the history of the middleweight division, and in my opinion, the most difficult challenge that Anderson has faced in his career. Anderson is the most spectacular, most well-rounded, most dynamic pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. But Vitor Belfort may have the fastest hands in boxing, and the fastest hands, the best boxing in the division. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he has a lot of experience in the octagon.
This defines marquee matchup, and so does our co-main event of the evening. Two longtime warriors in the octagon finally meet. Forrest Griffin, Rich Franklin.
Two huge fan favorites. I mean, Forrest Griffin, nobody loves fighting more than this guy. He's a scrapper. He's been in there for a long time against some of the very best in the world. as has Rich Ace Franklin. Rich Franklin, although he was a former middleweight champion, owns victories over Chuck Liddell and Wanderlei Silva, two of the very best light heavyweights in the division. I personally think he competes better at light heavyweight. Very much looking forward to that matchup.
Speaking of a light heavyweight, also on pay-per-view, John Jones, Ryan Bader. Tonight right here on Spike, Donald Cerrone makes his UFC debut against Paul Kelly. Let's get things started because we've got some great action inside the octagon right here live on Spike. And we begin with the return to the UFC of Japanese superstar Michihiro Omagawa as he takes on Team Alpha Male's Chad Money Mendes.
A skilled judoka and one of Japan's most respected veterans, Michihiro Omagawa returns to the octagon after a 3-year absence. This time, though, Omagawa is back at his natural weight of 145 pounds. And with a 5-fight winning streak in his pocket, Michi is ready for prime time again. Looking to spoil his return will be one of the game's top young prospects in Chad Mendes, a 2-time All-American wrestler who has defeated Eric Cook, Cub Swanson, and Javier Vasquez en route to compiling a perfect professional record that he doesn't want spoiled tonight. Coming up next, Michihiro Michi Omagawa faces Chad Money Mendes.
Set to get it started with Chad Money Mendes, Michihiro Omagawa. Our tale of the tape. Mendes, 10 years younger than Omagawa. Omagawa will have a slight reach advantage. Michihiro Omagawa has fought in the UFC before, both times at 155, comes in on a roll, set to return to the octagon to try to defeat Chad Mendes for the first time in Chad Money Mendes's mixed martial arts career. 2-time Pac-10 champion, 2-time Division I All-American Mendes hopes to snap the 5-fight win streak of Michihiro Omagawa. To get things started, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Spike from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas for UFC 126 preliminary fights. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a judo fighter holding a professional record, 12 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Tokyo, Japan, Michihiro Omagawa! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler holding a perfect professional record, 9 wins, no losses, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Sacramento, California, Chad Money Mendes. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. The beautiful Ariani, Sean Della, Brittany. Great to be here. UFC 126 prelims live on Spike.
You ready to fight? Ready. Let's do it.
Here we go. White trunks for Mendes. Dark trunks for Omagawa.
Mendes in his last fight against Javier Vasquez looked just absolutely outstanding.
Quick right hand early, Joe.
He's not just a wrestler, he's just really improving all the aspects of his full MMA game, getting better every time we see him in the octagon.
Team Alpha Male with Uriah Faber, Joseph Benavides, Justin Buchholz. Animals in that gym.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to interview Uriah this morning for Ultimate Insider for UFC.com, and we had a great talk about that camp. I mean, they really have put together something special up there in Sacramento.
Spectacular wrestler who's very confident in his hands.
Good left hook by Omagawa.
Omagawa black belt in judo, Joe, and Mendes has a good Greco-Roman background if the fight starts to go that way. Right now, it's a striking battle.
And Omagawa's got to be very happy to be finally at 145 pounds in the UFC. His 2 fights that he had against Thiago Tavares and against Matt Wyman. He, you know, is just too small for the 155-pound division. Just didn't have any other opportunities.
8-2-1 since the move of divisions, Joe, and a 5-fight win streak, so obviously the right decision.
Nice inside leg kick by Mendes there, Mike.
Mendes looking for the shot.
He shot from way outside and still got a hold of him, but was unable to complete it.
And that's something Omagawa likes to do, Joe. He likes to get his hands on his opponent and kind of bear hug him to the mat. Oh!
Nice right hand by Mendes.
Quick. He's really looking to connect on that hook, too.
He just shook out his right hand, Mike. I don't know if that means he hurt it. A lot of times you see a guy shaking his hand. He's having problems with a beautiful right leg kick there. Very nice timing. Let's see if he uses that right hand. It's open now, too, which is another sign that perhaps it could be hurt. Nope.
Yep. He came with all kinds of force. Keeps his hands a little low. Good leg kick.
Nice kick by Omagawa, and beautiful takedown defense there. Look at the base of Omagawa, and that's that judo.
The judo and the wrestling may nullify each other, and this may become a matchup like we see right here.
Judo guys have that crazy core strength from throwing each other around all the time. And his technique, of course, is excellent as well.
9-0 is Mendes in his MMA career. 4-time judo international competition champion, Michihiro Omagawa. First UFC bout in over 3 years. And the takedown.
Finally completes it.
Mendes's mantra throughout his very successful high school and college wrestling career was dictate where the match goes. And he's brought that attack mode and that mindset, if you will, Joe, into his mixed martial arts career.
Omagawa tried a straight armbar. He's looking for attacks off his back, Mike. And Mendes oftentimes is content to stay inside the guard and ground and pound. He's going for that arm again. He might have it here.
Trying to lock it in.
Mendes is in a bit of trouble, and he got it out. It's very tricky.
UFC 126 live on pay-per-view, top of the hour. Order now. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, Rich Franklin, Forrest Griffin, John Jones, Ryan Bader. Call your cable or satellite provider, use your remote, or go to UFC.com for ordering information. Tonight's pay-per-view also available in 100% Spanish. Final 30 seconds of round 1.
Omagawa back up to his feet. He did threaten off his back, though, Mike. That armbar was very close.
Mendes is really connected with that inside leg kick.
The armbar that Omagawa uses is an armbar that really works best with the gi because you have more traction. It's easier to hold the arm in place there. But that looked like it was pretty close.
See if they talk about the hand at all.
Have a seat. Hey, right now, heart rate. A little bit. Good. There you go.
Chad, you got to stand up all day. If it ends up being 3 5-minute rounds of kickboxing, like you do every day, you win. All right? Make some takedown, get an atmosphere there.
More work with your straight shots. More work with your straight shots. Stand-up's fantastic. We like the stand-up. Stand-up is not bad, dude. Stand-up is great. You're winning the stand-up. Okay. While the fight's standing, you're winning.
You
gotta watch your punches. Okay? He's gonna come in first.
Set for the start of round number 2.
Again with the inside leg kick of Mendes, but Omagawa countered with a punch.
Big right hand! Rocked him! Powerful strikes!
Mendes is all over him here. Omagawa, though, trying to defend, trying to use that half guard to get some distance, trying to get that knee in between the two of them.
He's obviously willing to throw the right, partner.
Yeah, I guess it was an illusion. Or my imagination. Omagawa doing a good job of keeping him tight to him, neutralizing the offense. Now he's got a chance to recover a bit. Oh, he's going to attack with an omoplata. Lost that. Go for the legs.
Another right hand. Good shot to the body. Man, those are
That
heavy.
one landed. He's attacking the leg, though.
Got to be careful.
He lost it. Mendes up.
Great start, round 2. Chad Mendes.
Omagawa looks stiff with his stand-up, Mike. His hands, he's holding him in an awkward way. He just does not look fluid and loose with his punches. Chad Mendes, on the other hand, does.
Bloodied up a bit, Michihiro Omagawa. Middleweight title on the line tonight, live on pay-per-view.
Nice left hook to the body. A nice
Another
right hand.
big right hand.
And again,
Mendes has found his range, and he's finding openings. Counter by Omagawa. Omagawa trying to close the distance a bit. 4-0 in the WEC, 9-0 overall. Going after the takedown big time.
Omagawa, man, that is impressive.
That is a judo black belt.
Nice short elbow inside by Omagawa.
Jose Aldo, the champion. Mark Hominick will fight him for the title at 45. Diego Nunes. These two men also in the mix.
How good did Hominick look in his last fight?
Oh, spectacular show. Fight for the troops. Big elbow.
Yeah, I can't wait for that fight now. Hominick really sent a message.
And it'll be right in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. On April 30th, UFC making its way to the province of Ontario. And the native Hominick will fight against the champion Jose Aldo. Right hand again. Uppercut as well.
Nice inside leg kick. And again. Trying to take away that fantastic base of Omagawa's.
He got clipped a couple times. Omagawa connects.
Yeah, Omagawa's coming after him now. Mendes gets the single. Omagawa just looks so much stronger at 145 compared to how we saw him at 155. You know, it's just so nice to be fighting against guys his own size. Now you see why he's on this multiple fight winning streak.
Well, like you said, his fight against Javier Vasquez was very impressive.
Yeah, Mendes looked fantastic in that fight. Beautiful takedowns and transitions. Nice flying knee attempt there.
Mendes said coming into this fight, Joe, he felt like Omagawa fights a little flat-footed and throws some looping punches, so he wanted to use his footwork and speed, and I think we've seen that.
Yeah, he's definitely taking angles, moving on the outside and countering well.
"20 seconds left in round 2. Big takedown.
Very nice.
Drove right through the hips and put him on his back. Elbow.
Nice elbow over the top. He's covering his mouth.
Oh, he's all bloodied up now, Joe.
Yeah.
Big finish to round 2 for Chad Mendes.
And there you see Chad Mendes leaping in with a left hook to the body. And a right hand over the top. And there's a flying knee that landed.
Edible.
Drink water.
Oh my, that's nasty.
You're getting hit. You gotta watch out. Move your feet. You're waiting. Go forward.
That is a hard cut. Looks like he's got an extra eyebrow. And here's the elbow that did the damage, just right on the eyebrow area.
Opened him right up immediately. Third and final round.
Tags him again right on that same spot. Knocked the Vaseline loose, and now the blood will flow.
Omigawa trying to find an opening.
Tell you what, Mike, Omigawa can take a punch. He's got great resiliency.
Gotten tagged just multiple times tonight, and by big shots, Joe. Ducking under is Mendes. Omigawa really trying to pick up the pace here early in round 3.
Chad shoots and gets the single here. He's got a hold of a leg. Let's see if he's able to complete it, because he's had a very difficult time getting Omigawa down. Perhaps even surprisingly, much more successful in his last fight against Javi Vasquez in completing his takedowns. Omigawa going for a guillotine attempt, loses it, and winds up on the bottom of the scramble. Very nice job by Chad Mendes.
Donald Cerrone, Paul Kelly still ahead right here live on Spike. Call your cable or satellite provider. Use your remote to order tonight's live pay-per-view top of the hour. Middleweight title fight, Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, Rich Franklin, Forrest Griffin, John Jones, Ryan Bader. Go to UFC.com for ordering information. Also, the show tonight available in 100% Spanish.
He's going for that armbar again. This time Mendes got out of it. I saw Mendes when he went back to his corner. He was, after that first round, he was checking his elbow and moving it funny, so it's probably still hurting. He was definitely hyperextended.
He had it cranked in pretty well, didn't he?
He did, but you know, these alpha male guys, they're not going to tap.
Yep.
There's another subject that I discussed with Uriah when he was talking about having broken hands in the Mike Brown fight, having a leg that was just basically kicked out from under him in the Jose Aldo fight. He's like, I never even thought about tapping. I'd never think about it. I think that if I was fighting for my life in the street, would I just quit and let the guy kill me? And that's my approach in a fight, and I think they all share that.
That was the same thing I was thinking was Uriah when you talked about Chad's hand in the first round, Joe. Hurt or not, they're going to keep swinging.
Yeah, Chad's trying to pass, but Omigawa has an excellent guard. He's doing a real good job of keeping Chad Mendes in it.
Mendes is just a powerful featherweight. I mean, you can see just how strong and physical he can be.
That's, again, another attribute of all these alpha male guys. They're all training together all the time, and you know, they're all so similar and so motivated, and all of them super athletic and great wrestlers. That's just iron sharpens iron.
Couple more big shots to the face of Omigawa here in the ground and pound.
Omigawa back to his feet.
Under 2 minutes remain in this fight.
Mendes landed that right hand again.
Omigawa's going to go for it. He got clipped, though. Under 90. Calling for straight punches in the corner of Mendes. Counters with the right.
Omigawa's landed some punches, pressing forward. Lands a nice left.
Can he get it? Yep. Continued to press forward for that takedown. Under a minute now. Hoping to move to 10-0 and earn a victory in his UFC debut, Chad Money Mendes. "20 seconds.
Omigawa's going to try to tackle an omoplata, Mike. Mendes realizing it, rolling him back towards his right side.
Nice debut for Chad Money Mendes.
That was a good exclamation point there for Mendes.
Absolutely.
You see the frustration in Omigawa slamming his hands to the mat.
I mean, what a battler, though.
Yeah, he has an incredible chin.
First UFC bout in over 3 years for Michihiro Omigawa. Mendes trying to solidify his spot in that title picture mix with Jose Aldo and Hominick and Nunes and so many great fighters at 145.
And here's a takedown by Chad Money Mendes. And there we see a great right hand by Mendes, rocked Omigawa. Mendes jumps all over him. And here's some ground and pound from the top by the Team Alpha Male member at the very end of the fight.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Chad Money Mendes.
He was spectacular tonight. Chad Mendes earns a unanimous decision victory in his UFC debut. Still ahead here, live on Spike. Cowboy will enter the octagon. Donald Cerrone makes his UFC debut against the battling Brit, Paul Tellez Kelly. And coming up next, Ultimate Fighter alum Kyle Kingsbury returns to the octagon. night, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and tons of action inside the octagon. This is UFC 126 Prelims Live, right here on Spike.
Moving up the ranks in the tough light heavyweight division is full of challenges, which makes tonight's fight between Ricardo Romero and Kyle Kingsbury very interesting.
UFC light heavyweight division matchup, the beautiful Ariani.
All right, gentlemen, now bring it on, come on.
We are underway. Kingsbury white trunks, Ricardo Romero in the dark trunks.
Kingsbury has to know from Ricardo Romero's last fight that he's very resilient. So I'm interested to see what his approach is here. And he's just going right to
early, Joe.
Vicious knee to the body.
Oh,
he hurt him bad.
Trying to finish it. It is all over. Kyle Kingsbury.
Wow. Man. Oh, he hurt him bad with a rib shot, Mike. Romero is holding his side. He just pointed to his side. I think one of those knees from Kingsbury to the ribs really did him in.
He threw a couple of knees and he threw a punch to the midsection, Joe. And watch it.
We talked about this before. The Kingsbury gets better every time you see him. Man, here's some perfect examples of that. I mean, he just swarms him. There's a knee that buckled him. There it goes to the legs. Beautiful job of mixing it up, and vicious left hand, and just jumps all over him. And then when he stops it, when Mazagazi stops it, Romero was holding his side. And there's the left hook that dropped him. Just all over him. Kingsbury's a monster. And as I said, just a serious athlete that gets better every time he's in there. And this is what we saw tonight. Look at this. Boom, boom. To the body with the knee, to the leg with the knee. Beautiful job of mixing it up. Drops him with that left. Just awesome performance by Kingsbury.
Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 21 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Kyle Kingsbury.
How explosive is Kyle Kingsbury? Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Kyle Kingsbury, man. What a statement you put out tonight. That was a really phenomenal performance. You swarmed all over him. You mixed up your combinations. Really fantastic job.
Well, thanks, Joe. It's nice to finally get to talk to you. I feel privileged.
Let's take a look at the big screen. Man, you caught him early on, and once you heard him and you had him up against the cage, you just really mixed up your combinations beautifully to the body, to the legs, and then dropped him with his left.
Yeah, you know, honestly, it was about keeping my distance, staying relaxed and composed. Once I hurt him with the first knee, I knew how to stay on him, so just didn't want to shoot my wad, as you said before. So I took my time with it, kind of picked him apart a little bit, you know, varying angles, and it worked out fine.
Well, awesome. Hard work pays off. Obviously, you're working hard. Congratulations. Kyle Kingsbury, ladies and gentlemen.
Kyle Kingsbury, the winner tonight in just 21 seconds. Biggest win of his UFC career. Now we are set to move ahead in the lightweight division here on UFC 126 Prelims Live on Spike. For the first time in his highly successful MMA career, Cowboy Donald Cerrone fights in the UFC. His first octagon challenge, the battling gritty Brit, Paul Kelly.
With the influx of WEC fighters into the UFC, it's become a source of pride for the Warriors of the Octagon to protect their turf from the newcomers. Tonight, the 9th UFC bout of Liverpool, England's Paul Kelly may very well be his toughest. A longtime contender, Donald Cerrone engaged in 5 Fight of the Night bouts during his stay in the WEC, and with the ability to submit or knock out his opponents. He is an immediate force in the division. But in Kelly, Cerrone will face a scrappy battler who showed in his TKO of TJ O'Brien that he is not intimidated by any man at 155 pounds. Coming up next, Paul Telly's Kelly takes on Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Paul Kelly, 5 UFC victories. Always loves to battle.
He's got excellent hands, Mike, especially the left hook to the body, one of his signature punches. He's one of the few fighters that really does attack the body with punches from the stand-up position. He's got a great chin, very tough kid, and he's got, right now, I believe this is his 7th or 8th octagon fight. More than that,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
now, Joe. Yeah, 5 and 3.
So a lot of experience and an excellent stylistic matchup. Donald Cerrone is a great stand-up fighter as well, so this should really be an intriguing matchup.
Donald Cowboy Cerrone, 13 wins in his mixed martial arts career. The former bull rider is a heck of a mixed martial artist.
Very, very well-rounded, Mike. He's a very good Muay Thai stand-up fighter, but his ground game is sick, especially off of his back. He's got a great guard, great triangles and arm bars, very resilient. He's had a few championship fights in the WEC. It was always in the mix, but lost to Jamie Varner and Ben Henderson in 2 tries at the title. But he's still a young guy, 27 years of age, getting better all the time. He's one of those Greg Jackson camp fighters, so he's got a tremendous amount of great fighters to train with in the gym, and just really has an amazing amount of potential and one of the most exciting acquisitions from the WEC.
Tail of the tape for this lightweight fight. Donald Cerrone, 27 years old, 1 year the elder of the Brit. Paul Kelly. Cerrone, much taller, he will have a 3-inch reach advantage. With the official introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 12 wins, 3 losses. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Living in Liverpool, England, Paul Tellys Kelly. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer, holding a professional record, 13 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. Sold out Mandalay Bay Event Center. The beautiful Ariani. Donald Cerrone.
All right, gentlemen, now bring it on, come on.
Paul Kelly, here we go. Kelly quickly throws. Cerrone quickly takes him down.
Wow, Cerrone went for the touch, the glove touch, and Kelly swung on him.
Holding on to the neck of Cerrone is Kelly.
Kelly's got a hold of a guillotine attempt here. And it was really a sucker shot there by Paul Kelly.
Side control for Cerrone. Still has his neck trap, though.
He has his neck trap, but there's a choke from this position for Cerrone if he holds on to it and he lets it go.
And we always talk about, and they did throughout his WEC career, but when you talk about Cowboy, you talk about his great striking. He's got excellent submissions, too,
his jiu-jitsu is nasty.
Yeah.
Off his back as well. If he gets flipped over, he's not out of the contest.
11 of his 13 career wins, Cerrone, have been by submission.
Cerrone ducks under it, looks for the takedown. Telly's looking for a knee.
7th fight at 155 for Kelly. He said by far this was his easiest weight cut.
Big left hook by Kelly.
And he looks good early against Cerrone. Had a smile on his face at weigh-ins yesterday, Joe. Yeah, Kelly saying, all right, throw it. Little cut under the right eye of Cowboy.
Cowboy's looking for that knee. He's got an excellent counter knee to the body that he uses on guys when they're coming in. Takes good advantage of that height and reach. Very tall for a lightweight. Nice leg kick.
And he opens up with his striking, Cerrone, and feels very comfortable because he's so good on his back, Joe. If the fight goes there, he's okay with it.
Absolutely, that's a very good point. That's why he's not afraid to throw kicks. And there's one.
Head kick by Kelly. Oh,
Good
nice on the
hook
exit.
by Kelly. And as we said, Kelly has some great punches, especially to the body. Really likes to dig with that left hook to the liver, and there he threw it to the chin.
And Manny turned into that hook a moment ago.
Look at the big looping right hand there.
Midway point of the round. UFC debut for Donald Cerrone, a top contender in the WEC for years. Had some great battles with Ben Henderson, fight of the night performances.
Kelly's having some really good success with his punches, Mike. He looks for that knee again. Good right hand by Kelly.
Led with the uppercut and
Donald
connected.
seems to be having a hard time finding his rhythm here, Mike. This is the most uncomfortable I can remember seeing him in a fight.
Nice counter hook to the leg kick. Is there something that Kelly's doing to cause that, Joe?
Well, he's got excellent hands. I mean, that's definitely one of it. It might have been just right off the bat, the fact that he didn't touch gloves and threw a punch at him might have, you know, got him emotional and thrown his composure off a bit.
90 seconds on the clock here in the round. Cerrone tried to throw the elbow. Cerrone trains with Greg Jackson's team, Joe Stevenson, Clay Guida, Melvin Gillard, his best friend Leonard Garcia. Cerrone in top position. Jackson calling for some ground and pound. Half guard.
And as we said, Cerrone, very solid ground game. Wicked off his back.
Cerrone's teammate John Jones on the pay-per-view card that begins top of the hour. UFC 126 live on pay-per-view. Order now. Call your cable or satellite provider. Use your remote. Go to UFC.com for ordering information. Show is available in Spanish. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, John Jones, as I mentioned, Ryan Bader, Rich Franklin, Forrest Griffin. 30 seconds.
Paul Kelly's doing a good job of stifling him on the ground, using those overhooks to tie up the arms. But now he's free. For Cerrone's free, and he landed a real good elbow, and Kelly's cut. He's bleeding quite a bit, Mike, over that right eye. That's a sharp elbow from Cerrone.
Big connection. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
That's cushion.
Now Cerrone's targeting it.
Yep. Final seconds of the round.
Give me that cum shield. Cum shield. Big breaths, mate. Big breaths. Big breaths. One more big breath. But what do we practice when he kicks? What do you do when he kicks? Close straight off it, yeah? Can I get at my fighter by any chance? Okay, when he kicks.
And here's the beginning, folks. Let's take a look at this. They go to touch gloves, and he fakes them and throws a punch. That is unsportsmanlike behavior by Mr. Kelly. And there's a takedown by Cerrone. Cerrone eventually got mount from this position, landed some good ground and pound.
Let's go, Cowboy!
Took him down again.
Come alive, baby!
And at the end of the round, got some good elbows in for a cut over the right eye of Paul Kelly that Leon Taps is sealed up for the time being.
See if that turns some momentum into Cerrone's favor here at the start of round two.
I don't know what he just said to him. He said something. Paul just talked to him.
Well, you know, Paul with his true Liverpool accent.
Yeah, Kelly has no idea what the hell he said.
Cerrone has no, Cerrone has no idea what he said, right?
Cerrone, rather, yeah. There's no way. I don't know what he said.
Yeah, was that English? Quick hands.
Nice.
Inside. He really turns his hip over, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's got beautiful technique with his kicks. Kelly's corner was calling for him to counter when Cerrone kicks. They're saying, what do you do when he kicks? We want a counter with punches, especially with that left hook. Nice leg kick by by Cerrone.
Kelly, lead hook again. Cerrone lives on a ranch outside of Albuquerque with Leonard Garcia. They just put their own workout area in, so training at home and training at Jackson's on a daily basis. Cowboy very relaxed the last few days, Joe. Big smile on his face, excited about tonight's opportunity.
And again, Cowboy, you know, coming off that fight with Jamie Varney, he just looked outstanding in that fight. He looked so sharp. He just doesn't seem quite in the groove tonight. I mean, it could be because of the punches of Paul Kelly. You know, it could be he didn't have the best training camp. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't look the same.
Both times he fought Varner were fight of the night performances.
He just landed an outstanding leg kick, though. He really turns his hip over so well in that technique and digs his shin in.
Under 3 here in the second. Kelly sharp tonight. Big takedown.
Nice takedown. He's going for a guillotine. He's got an arm-in guillotine, does Kelly. Cerrone's out of that, and he's on top in half guard. A little short knee to the body.
And a heel to the thigh. He opened him up with a big elbow at the end of round 1. Looking to set up a big elbow again here.
He's trying to trap that arm, Mike. He's looking for an arm triangle. Is Cerrone. The right arm of Paul Kelly. He's going to try to slide his arm under and connect his hands together. Kelly got out of it. Good explosion by Kelly, but he is now mounted. That's bad.
And a lot of time.
And Cerrone will also look for arm bars, Mike. If Kelly pushes off one of these arms to defend, Cerrone will attack it. He takes the back. Beautiful job of transitioning. Got the body lock on. He's got him locked in place solid here. The body lock prevents him from turning and spinning into his guard. So Cerrone will maintain this dominant position. This is not good for Paul Kelly. He's going to try to defend.
11 submission wins in the career of Cerrone.
Cerrone is using the left hand to try to stop Kelly's left hand from defending. Oh, he's beating him up
away.
Here. He's got it under.
Trying to finish the fight.
Kelly rolls out of it.
Still trying to
got it. He's got it. That is nasty.
It is all over.
Beautiful technique.
Donald Cerrone chokes out Paul Kelly.
I love how he turned the hands up. If you take a look at that choke when we showed in the replay, the way he cinched it up, he pulled his arm up high and tight and then adjusted it and put it to his bicep for the perfect closure. Let's take a look at the takedown here. He ducks under the punch. Beautiful trip. And from there, he transitioned to full mount, landed some good ground and pound. Kelly tries to explode and get out of the position, but in doing so, gives up his back. Cerrone really expertly locks up that body triangle there, keeping him in place. Now look how he turns his hand and twists it up like that. Really created the angle and then adjusts it and switches it to the bicep. Beautiful job by Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Two classy competitors. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 48 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
submission.
Donald, showcasing your well-rounded skills here tonight. Welcome to the UFC.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be here to show the WC guys deserve here in the UFC, you know?
You know, he went to touch gloves at the beginning of the fight, and then he threw a punch at you. Did that throw you off at all?
Yeah, that was cool, right?
That wasn't like I was trying to steal it. I was just touching and going to work. We said yesterday we're going to work. I wasn't being...
All right, man. You know I love you. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Well, let's take a look at the finish here, because you did a fantastic job at securing that rear naked choke, the way you adjusted your hands. He was defending it for a bit, but once you got him flattened out, you adjusted your hands, really cranked it up on the neck, and then finished it off nice.
Yeah, man, that's Greg Jackson's jiu-jitsu, man. I mean, the best in the world. My training partner's the best guys in the world, and I love it there.
Well, welcome to the UFC. We're very excited to have you and can't wait to see you again.
I love you, Grandpa.
Donald Cowboy Cerrone, ladies and gentlemen.
Cowboy by submission in his UFC debut. A top contender in the WEC for years, and he finally arrives in style in the octagon. Top of the hour, UFC 126, live on pay-per-view. Order right now. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, our main event of the evening. Joe, yesterday's weigh-in was emotional, to say the least, especially between the two competitors in tonight's main event of the evening.
Very, very highly charged, Mike. Everyone on the stand got goosebumps when Anderson and Vitor got in each other's face. Vitor looked very confident weighing in. Both guys made weight. And then Anderson, check this out, puts a mask on and rushes up into Vitor's face. Check this out. Vitor stands his ground. They go head to head, and they were just yelling at each other in Portuguese at one point. And I don't know what Anderson said to Vitor, and I don't know what Vitor said to Anderson, but I do know that when I asked Anderson, what did you say to Vitor? Vitor behind me was saying, tell the truth, tell the truth.
A live look inside.
Anderson's laughing. Look at him.
He knows what you just said. A live look inside the locker room of Anderson Silva.
Well, he looks very relaxed. He looks very, very relaxed there.
You just made the champion laugh.
This is, listen, the most highly anticipated fight in the history of the middleweight division. And not just in the UFC, in any organization all across the world. This is the middleweight title fight. This is the biggest challenge that Anderson Silva has ever faced in his career stylistically. And if you're familiar with Anderson Silva, he is the most accurate, most devastating fighter, not just in the middleweight division, but in any division, in any combat sport, in my opinion. He is a man. He finds a way to win. Vitor Belfort, though, is a very particular type of fighter. He's a swarmer. And there you see it here, the patented Belfort swarm. He used it on Vanderlei Silva. He used it there against Marvin Eastman. Took out Rich Ace Franklin in less than one round. He's done that to Matt Lindland. He's done that to Tank Abbott. He's done that to many, many, many fighters. He is one of the most dangerous, explosive, and dynamic fighters in the sport. And he has some of the best hands in mixed martial arts. And this is a very, very intriguing matchup. Has a lot of people picking Vitor Belfort to take the title from the champ.
We've waited a long time. It'll finally happen tonight. So will the fight between the first Ultimate Fighter winner, Forrest Griffin. Stephen Bonner helped to create everything that we enjoy today. Forrest Griffin, former UFC light heavyweight champion, back in action for the first time in over 14 months, and he takes on one of the best of all time, the former UFC middleweight champion, Rich Ace Franklin, who tonight, Joe, will fight his 5th straight former UFC champion. He's just going through a highlight reel of the best. He hopes to come out with the victory later tonight.
And Franklin, as we said, has been very successful as a light heavyweight. He has 2 wins over 2 of the greatest light heavyweights ever, in Vanderlei Silva and in Chuck Liddell. He, although being the former middleweight champion, as I said, I believe he fights better as a light heavyweight. Cuts a tremendous amount of weight to make the cut at middleweight. Forrest Griffin, one of the most fan-friendly fighters in the history of the sport. Just constant action, always exciting, comes in an incredible condition, and has a very underrated ground game, Mike. Rich Ace Franklin, about as well-rounded as you can get. Incredible conditioning. He's got knockout power, as you see there, stopping the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. Just a real fan-friendly matchup, and I can't wait for it. It got the biggest round of applause at the weigh-ins yesterday.
No question, they are two of the most beloved fighters in UFC history. The two most rapidly rising stars, Jon Jones and Ryan Bader. And I'll tell you what, when Unstoppable beats like virtually unbeatable to this point in his career, expect fireworks later tonight. Jon Bones Jones, one of the most talked about fighters in the history of mixed martial arts. You want to talk about the entire package? He possesses it all.
Yeah, he's got that weird it factor, Mike. You know, the people just, they look at this kid and go, that's a star. And there's something about him, whatever he's got it in mass quantities. Ryan Bader has it as well, though. And that's one of the things that makes this fight exciting is that Ryan Bader has all the skills that you would need to take out a guy like Jon Jones. Very powerful wrestler with knockout punches, and he's also undefeated and brimming with confidence.
The weigh-in between these two men also, Joe, was emotional. Ryan Bader and Jon Jones both weighing in yesterday, and the stare down was definitely eventful afterwards.
Well, Jon Jones has this patented look to the side that he does. Ryan Bader staring at it in his eyes. This is heated. This is a very, very exciting fight between the future of the division, and will decide the future of the division.
Don't forget, top of the hour, UFC 126, Silva versus Belfort, live only on pay-per-view. Moments away from the big night, here's Joe Rogan with UFC President Dana White.
All right, I'm here with Dana White. Here we go, baby.
I'm so pumped for this one.
Oh, man, I called Dana a couple nights ago to tell him I couldn't sleep, and I've been wandering around my house, staring at the walls, thinking about this championship fight. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know this is the most anticipated fight in the history of the middleweight division.
So true, man. These guys both have the tools to make this an incredible war. You know, both guys possess incredible stand-up, and even if this thing goes to the ground, they're both great on the ground.
Absolutely, and Vitor has lethal speed, and it's one of the things that makes this exciting is that we have never seen Anderson against a striker of Vitor's caliber in his entire championship reign in the UFC.
Exactly. One of the interesting things, a statistic about Vitor Belfort, like 85% of his fights are finished in the first 4 minutes. So I think Vitor tonight needs to come right out and jump right on Anderson Silva, at least earn that respect and go after him.
And what Anderson needs to do probably is either counter that or take it into deep, deep water and bring him into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds and see if Vitor's conditioning holds up.
That's what I'm so excited about with this fight. I'm excited to see what the game plans are, who's going to go after who. You know, stylistically, this could be not only one of the most intense, but the best middleweight fight we've ever seen for the title.
And another underrated aspect of Vitor's game is his wrestling. Vitor has very good grappling. He was one of the few guys to take Chuck Liddell down in his prime.
I agree, and he's very strong for a 185-pounder. Very strong. And people aren't giving him enough credit for the knees that he can throw. I mean, this guy has the tools. The question is, will Vitor Belfort mentally show up tonight?
Absolutely, that is the question. And of course, speaking of who will show up tonight, who will rise to the 205-pound ladder tonight? Jon Jones taking on Ryan Bader in the most anticipated contender matchup in the light heavyweight division in a long time.
I agree. Both of these guys are studs, and both of them are great wrestlers. They can stand up. I mean, another fight that can be absolutely explosive, and the winner of this fight gets himself right into the title picture.
We can't wait to see it. It's all coming up on pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you miss it!
Joe, Dana, thank you very much. The time has come. The middleweight title is on the line tonight. A battle of superstars. Anderson Silva versus Vitor Belfort. Forrest Griffin set to take on Rich Ace Franklin. Order right now. UFC 126, live from the Mandalay Bay Event Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Jon Bones Jones, Ryan Bader. UFC 126 prelims live is in the books. The pay-per-view is coming up next. Will Bader remain unbeaten in his mixed martial arts career? Will he slow down John Jones? Will Rich Franklin win this battle for the ages against that man, Forrest Griffin, the former middleweight champion, the pride of Cincinnati, Ohio, set to go to battle later tonight. Big smile on the face of the champion, set to take on perhaps his greatest challenge ever, the Phenom, who made his UFC debut at age 19, Vitor Belfort. UFC 126 is next.
This is the biggest fight of our careers. It's going to prove who the future of the light heavyweight division is. And I am that future, and I'm going to prove it tonight.
This fight has to do with what's right now. And right now, I'm getting ready to step into that octagon and demolish Ryan Bader.
This fight not only has the potential of being fight of the night, but possibly fight of the year.
I want this fight to be one of those fights that people remember. I want it to be right up there with the Stephan Bonner fight. It's got all the ingredients. Let's do it.
Vitor, the talking is over. The war begins.
Don't blink, you know. Two champions fighting each other, small gloves. Anything can happen.
I am the champion. Tonight, I will remain champion. UFC 126, Silva versus Belfort. Let's get things started. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He first entered the octagon at age 19, won the heavyweight tournament that night. He is the Phenom, Vitor Belfort, the possessor of perhaps the fastest hands in MMA history. But tonight, he takes on the most dominant champion of all time, Anderson, the Spider Silva, who has never lost. He's got a ton of UFC records, and he plans on leaving tonight the UFC middleweight champion. My partner is always Joe Rogan. Silva Belfort, not much needs to be said.
No, so much anticipation in the air because everybody knows what both these men are capable of. Vitor Belfort, one of the most dynamic guys ever, but Anderson Silva fights like he's in the Matrix. That's my favorite quote about this guy. If you have ever seen him fight before, he's capable of doing everything. Submitting guys off of his back, has lethal strikes, knees, elbows, kicks. But Vitor Belfort is one of the fastest, most explosive guys in the division. Was a tournament champion in the heavyweight division at 19, at 185 pounds, one of the biggest knockout punchers in the sport. And here's the weigh-ins yesterday, and as we see the tension. And this is a quote that Vitor said, is that Anderson wears a mask, and that who he is when he talks is not who he really is. So what does Anderson do? He throws on a mask, gets in Vitor's face, they start yelling at each other in Portuguese. There was an incredible amount of tension there on that stage. Each one trying to get some sort of a psychological advantage, trying to last night.
Vitor Belfort, the former UFC light heavyweight champion. And speaking of light heavyweights, Forrest Griffin, former UFC light heavyweight champion, takes on the former middleweight champion, Rich Franklin.
I cannot see a single possibility of this fight being boring.
No kidding.
Both these guys are two of the most fan-friendly fighters in the sport. Forrest Griffin, of course, is the man, one of the men responsible for this sport being so famous. His spectacular fight with Stephan Bonnar, where he won the first season of The Ultimate Fighter. Rich Ace Franklin, former middleweight champion, who holds victories in the light heavyweight division over two of the greats in Chuck Liddell and Anderson Silva. He is as well-rounded as they come, always in spectacular condition.
Plus, Jon Jones, Ryan Bader.
Jon Jones is the it man in the sport. He is one of the most charismatic and talented guys I have ever seen in mixed martial arts, but he's fighting the perfect foil in Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader is an all-American wrestler. He is absolutely huge for the division, and he has one-punch knockout power in either hand and a wealth of confidence. He is on a roll, he is undefeated, and this is a spectacular matchup.
Jon Jones, Ryan Bader. Lots of tension yesterday at the weigh-ins as well.
Yeah, look at Jon Jones. He's very intense. Ryan Bader staring him in the eyes. This is, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know it's going to be fireworks.
No question. Tonight's card is super stacked, including a couple of tough 170-pounders. In the welterweight division, Jake Ellenberger looks for his third straight octagon victory as he takes on unbeaten Carlos Eduardo Rocha. Our rules of the octagon: 3 judges scored the fight duration, 3 5-minute rounds. Tonight's title fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point plus scoring system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. First fight in the bantamweight division. The former WEC champion is still one of the baddest bantamweights in the world today. Miguel Angel Torres makes his UFC debut against ultra-tough Antonio Banuelos. Throughout combat sports history, a meeting between fighters of Mexican descent translates into a battle for not just a win, but for pride and honor. Tonight, bantamweights Miguel Angel Torres and Antonio Banuelos continue that tradition.
I'm ready for an all-out war in this fight. I'm just going to take the fight to him and just non-stop action.
Tonight, I know Antonio's going to come and try to bring a very toward pace. I'm going to use my distance and my reach to my advantage and keep him at bay and force him into a very bad spot.
A longtime training partner of UFC legend Chuck Liddell, Antonio Banuelos has built his own impressive resume over the years with a take-no-prisoner style that has endeared him to fight fans. Winner of 4 of his last 5, Banuelos now readies for Torres.
I'm going to push the pace, a lot of head movement, and I'm either going to knock him out or TK him.
Miguel Angel Torres is a pioneer of the lighter weight classes who finally received worldwide acclaim when he won the WEC bantamweight title in 2008. Now looking to reach the pound-for-pound list again, Torres begins the next chapter of his stellar career in the UFC.
Tonight, I'm looking to put Antonio Banuelos to sleep, either with my fists or with a choke.
Antonio Banuelos, hoping tonight he will earn the 20th MMA victory of his career. 13-time WEC veteran, winner of 4 of his last 5 fights, longtime training partner of the Hall of Famer, Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
Yeah, he is a buzzsaw, a very good wrestler, comes in swinging, he's got a great chin, he's got a tremendous amount of experience from the WEC in the bantamweight division, and it's just nice that we're able to finally showcase these spectacular lighter weight fighters here in the UFC.
Stick and move. Outwork Miguel tonight is his game plan. Stay away from that middle zone. And very much like Chuck Liddell, Banuelos Joe uses his wrestling to keep most of the fights on the feet.
He does, and when he takes fights to the ground, has very good ground and pound. He's going to have to look out for the dangerous guard, though, if he does take Miguel Torres to the ground, but I'm sure they've anticipated that and prepared for it well.
Fight of the night performance against Scott Jorgensen. Banuelos has not been submitted in a live fight in 8 years. You mentioned the good ground and pound, and he does throw with power.
He's fired up too, look at him go.
When asked what his job was before he started fighting, he said, I was and I still am Chuck Liddell's assistant. Antonio Banuelos. He always comes to fight.
Looks like he's making a music video right now.
His opponent, the former WEC Bantamweight champion. "37 wins in his mixed martial arts career. Joe, he's had both a 19 and a 17 fight win streak in his MMA career.
He's an outstanding fighter, Mike. He's a Carlson Gracie jiu-jitsu protege. He's got, I mean, I've heard of Miguel Torres way back in the day when Carlson Gracie was having him match up with guys, you know, 10, 15, 20 pounds heavier than him. He is known for his great reach, his great utilization of that reach in chokes and triangle chokes and arm chokes. He's got a great chin. He's got very good boxing and kickboxing. He's tough as nails. And he's on a comeback right now because he's made a nice adjustment where for a long time he was pretty much self-trained, training with his students and training partners, but he decided that that was too difficult to compete at the highest levels of the game and still do that. So what he decided to do was go to the TriStar gym in Montreal and train with Faraz Sahabi and George St. Pierre and all those guys up there and really have someone devise a true training camp for him. And that has paid huge dividends for him, and he looks outstanding because of that.
Basically lived in Faraz Sahabi's basement, trained hard every day. Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight battle. 6 inches taller, 13-inch reach advantage for Torres. With the official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC Bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a Hawaiian Kempo fighter, holding professional record, 19 wins, 6 losses. Standing 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Arroyo Grande, California, Antonio Banuelos. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding professional record, 37 wins, 3 losses. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, by way of East Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former WEC Bantamweight champion, Miguel Angel Torres. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki.
Mario Yamasaki, our referee. The beautiful Brittany. What a way to get things started. UFC 126.
Are you ready? Let's go, come on.
We are underway. White trunks for Torres. Dark trunks for Banuelos. Huge reach advantage, Joe.
Yeah, he has a reach advantage over almost anybody in the 135-pound division. And as I said, he uses it not just with his strikes, but with his chokes. He can get chokes in a lot of angles that shorter-armed fighters are not capable of doing, and shorter leg fighters as well. Very good off his back.
Got that
very
left
hard
hand
to put there as well.
Yeah, left hand way out there, Joe, and the right hand ready to fire.
Yeah, right hand in an excellent position to defend as well. And with the left hand extended, he protects himself with his shoulder. Always has great technique. And he was touted before he lost to Brian Bowles. He was touted as being one of the very best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
I mean, he was on an incredible run, and still when you look at 37 wins, 31 finishes.
Well, he still has all that potential.
Yep.
He just, you know what, he got in a rut and he had to make an adjustment, and he did.
And that's the key right there, Joe.
Yeah.
Going up to Montreal, changing things up, and he found a good relationship in and out of training with Firas Zahabi. Said they'd stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning talking fighting and philosophies, and let's see if it pays off tonight, because Banuelos is a handful for anybody.
You can be successful training yourself, but to compete at the very highest levels of the game, I think you cannot be as successful. To be at your best, you need someone who is a true expert, that is objective, that can analyze your game and see what you need to improve on, and see things and push you in ways that you're not really willing to do yourself.
And Joe, not just the trainer, how about the training partners he gets up there?
Absolutely. And the experience in training people. You know, I mean, just to be up there with George St. Pierre and just to share, you know, training secrets and tips and you know, talk philosophy. The crowd's getting a little heated up here.
That said, Banuelos has pretty much spent his entire fighting life with Chuck Liddell and John Hackleman. Not a bad place either.
Absolutely outstanding place. And Hackleman is one of my favorite cornermen because he stays calm, gives excellent advice, and the fighters all have great confidence in him.
And Antonio has been to many a UFC with Chuck Liddell, so he should adjust to the entire big picture and the bright lights, if you will, in the octagon tonight.
Well, yeah, and he's got plenty of experience, as does Torres in the WEC.
Nice jab by Miguel Torres.
And right now, Banuelos is having a hard time closing the distance here, Mike.
And you hear his corner saying, push forward.
As Torres lowers himself, as he's lowering his center of gravity, oh, nice takedown off the kick, but Banuelos got right back up. That's weird. I would have thought he would have followed him to the ground and tried some ground and pound there.
Pro since 2001, Antonio Banuelos.
As I was going to say, is as Torres lowers his stance and bends his knees, it makes it a bit more difficult to explode with knees off the back leg to catch the takedown attempts of Banuelos.
Such a huge difference in the reach of this fight. Nice quick right hand by Torres. Couple of good jabs and another. Miguel leads with the jab again.
Torres seems to be just using that jab, sticking it, and looking for Banuelos to commit so he can counter him. He's being very patient. Nice right hand by Torres. Nice jab, very snappy jab. And again, with that snapping jab. And even though he's bringing his hand down as he brings it back, he's protecting himself with his shoulder. The left shoulder comes up high towards the chin. And he's throwing that jab, sort of Tommy Hearns style. High kick by Banuelos.
30 seconds on the clock now. Big swing by Banuelos. Calling for the head movement. 20. Trying to find that range with anything. Final seconds of round number 1.
Wow, that's some serious boos here. First of the night.
Tough crowd.
Okay, breathe. Okay, breathe. Here's the water. Okay.
John Hackleman.
Breathe. Okay. Okay. You gave him that round. You gave him to him. Okay. You gave him that round by just moving around on the outside, giving him all the range. You gave him that round. Okay. Okay. This round you have to move forward more and put him on his heels. Okay. Your conditioning is outstanding. You're not going to get tired.
There, Torres lands some strikes from the outside. And look at this snapping jab, Mike. Very nice jab and nice footwork by Torres. There's a good straight right hand. Not the most spectacular round, but an effective round for Mr. Torres.
Here we go, second round, you ready?
Second round, Torres and Banuelos. John Hackleman saying you will not get tired. Push the pace here.
Now let's see if Banuelos listens to him. He's got to get close enough to take damage. He's got to get close enough to do damage, and to do that, you got to get close enough to take it. And with the huge reach advantage of Torres, I mean, he can land much quicker and easier.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the late, great Carlson Gracie. Trained Stephan Bonner for years as well, did Carlson Gracie. Born in East Chicago, Indiana. Right across the state line. Right hand and a counter by Banuelos.
Yeah, Banuelos just missed the mark on that counter, but he's looking for it. He's got to listen to Hackleman, though, and close that distance. Push Torres back. Don't let Torres press the action.
Miguel admits that he had all that early success in his career, Joe, with virtually no takedowns. So he's really worked on his wrestling just to complete his game.
Well, he didn't mind when guys took him down because he just used his jiu-jitsu.
There was a stat out there that he defended about 11% of the time, but like you said, that was okay with him.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of submission victories off his back.
23 total wins by submission. Can see Banuelos trying to get a little bit closer. Right hand again.
Torres is doing very well with that jab, Mike, but I would like to see him pick up his tempo a bit and land more. You know, this is not his most exciting performance in his UFC debut, and he's one of the most exciting fighters, in my opinion, in the world. And we're just really not seeing that out of him here right now.
Banuelos' constant movement, a lot of head movement, makes it tough on Miguel to find an opening, doesn't it?
Yes, it definitely does. Banuelos he's moving side to side. He's bouncing around a lot.
Tough to counter a 13-inch reach advantage. And Joe, like you said, Banuelos trying to do just about everything he can to do so. Not having a lot of success, though. Torres, the former WEC bantamweight champion, 5'9". Makes the weight of 135. 76-inch reach. And he's kept Banuelos on the outside for the majority of this fight thus far.
This is right now a kickboxing bout between two guys that are pretty good at kickboxing, and one guy really can't close the distance. And this is not what I would like to see, again, from Miguel Torres' debut.
I mean, like you said, he was one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world for a long time, and still is amongst the best in the world, Joe. But man, when he first burst onto the scene, you know, 19 and 17 fight win streaks in his career. A lot of hype surrounding Miguel Torres.
And Banuelos has got to do something. I mean, he's moving around a lot. He's got his hands up. There he goes. Now he's swinging. But he's got to go for broke here. He's had virtually no success in this, you know, more than 1.5 rounds they fought so far.
13-inch reach advantage. You're not tired,
Yeah.
Push the pace from Hackleman.
And that's what he wants, but that's what he's worried about, is those counters.
Stiff jab.
Yeah, the jab is making his nose bleed. He's landing that right hand again as well.
Now every time we say jab, I think George St. Pierre, Josh Koscheck.
Oh,
combination.
Nice. And Banuelos, he's got to move forward as he's throwing those punches, Mike. They're coming up short. He's got to get his distance down better.
Again with the jab.
Yeah, now he's getting lit up. And Torres is beginning to loosen up.
The jab is a popular training tool at TriStar in Montreal.
Yeah. Banuelos is leaking out of his nose now. I mean, look at these counters. He's throwing them. They're like a foot off. I mean, literally.
There's about a foot of reach advantage.
Yeah, Banuelos. I guarantee you John Hackleman is not going to... Oh, he tagged him.
Nice.
He tagged him hard.
Good combination
there,
at the end of the round.
That's what Ben Wells needs to do. He connected hard there towards the end of that round.
Doing good, doing good.
That was a better round. You gotta find a place with that right hand. Don't kick on the inside. Use your hands on the inside. Your bumbles on the inside. Don't kick from close. Do all either. Yeah, just find a nice place with that right hand.
He's getting frustrated. He's starting to chase you too and lean out. That's where you're gonna catch him, all right?
Hurt him with the cross 4 times. That was good. Keep it coming. Only kick when he's back up. Don't kick when he's standing planted.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that round. Here's the stiff jab of Miguel Torres, and there's a nice right hand moving away from the counter by Benuelos. And here at the end of the round, Benuelos connects. There's a good left hook. Caught Miguel Torres with his head straight up in the air. The little bit of success that he had in that round. And he did in that round, when he had success, exactly what John Hackleman wanted him to do. Got close, pressed the action, pushed Miguel Torres back to his heels.
You ready? Let's go, come on. Third and final round. Benuelos comes out. Lots of movement. Knows, as you said, Joe, he's got to push it here.
Yeah, he's got to jump all over Torres. And he's already taken a bunch of shots.
Another good jab there.
That's it. That's what he's got to do. He's got to keep doing that.
Get inside and connect with some combinations. Third and final round. Bantamweight battle here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Again with the jab is Torres. Benavidez took Torres down and really put a hurting on him. And that's, you know, that was the fight that really changed the entire game plan and mindset of Miguel to go and reach out to Montreal, Joe.
Yeah, he got a huge cut in his forehead from Benavidez and then got choked out by a guillotine, that patented alpha male guillotine that they use. And, you know, Miguel knew he had to regroup. I would like to see Miguel push to try to close this fight. And I would like to see Antonio Benuelos do what he did towards the end of that second round. And there's the boos again. Let's see how the fighters respond. Torres is starting to pick up the pace a bit here. There he goes. I mean, Torres needs to make a statement here tonight. It's not just about winning. It's about, this is your UFC debut. You're in front of the biggest audience you've ever seen. Make something happen.
Under 3 minutes left to do exactly that for both fighters. Change of stance. And back.
Benuelos just, to me, just does not seem that motivated. I mean, he just doesn't seem like he's willing to jump in there and dive on him.
Is the reach throwing him off
For sure.
really to that large of a degree?
It certainly is,
yeah.
But, you know, you got to do something about that. And he's had some success in it in the end of the second round. He's got to duplicate that. He's got to jump all over him. He's got to do something different. But throwing these counter punches that are, you know, a foot short of their target, see, that's not going to do it. I mean, it's almost like he's hoping that Miguel Torres runs forward recklessly and slams his face into one of them.
Now, it's funny you say that because the recklessness to the fight style of Torres was his key to success early. Now he's trying to find that disciplined mix between, you know, an all-out brawler and a strategic fighter.
I think he learned in that Bowles fight, the Brian Bowles fight, where he got clipped and knocked unconscious. You know, he learned, you know, hey, this can happen to me too. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail.
Tonight, Torres has used his jab as the hammer. And again. Combination by Torres.
I guess Benuelos' strategy in this fight is not to take it to the ground ever, because you really have seen very little takedown attempts from him. It seems that he's just trying to counter and land punches. Very few kicks by Ben Wells as well.
The jab has definitely been established.
There's a nice right hand by Torres.
Torres trying to hunt him down.
And there he swung with a haymaker. Ben Wells did, but missed the mark. And that is what he needs. Now, as you get towards the end of the fight, Ben Wells really has to go for broke here. Oh, there he goes.
Final seconds of the fight, though, Joe. Just 10 on the clock now.
He connected with a knee.
Swinging away at the final bell. This fight goes the distance. A frustrated Antonio Banuelos.
And there's Miguel Torres, kicks to the body.
The jab was prominent, and Miguel Torres awaits the decision. See Firas Zahabi, trainer of George Rush St. Pierre.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Miguel Angel Torres.
Unanimous decision victory here, Joe.
Right, I'm here with the winner, Miguel Torres. First of all, Miguel, how would you rate your performance tonight, and did you fight according to the game plan?
You know, I did what my coach wanted me to do. I fought to a game plan. Antonio's a very, very dangerous fighter on the inside. I wanted to get in and brawl, but I couldn't, so I had to fight out from the outside. I want to say happy birthday to Firas, my coach. His birthday today, and his wife. He missed both to come help me coach me, so thank you very much.
You landed some very nice jabs and some good straight right hands in this fight. Were you surprised at all that you weren't able to put him away?
You know what? He's real tough, man. He took a lot of punches. I know I broke his nose. I heard it crunch a couple of times. I didn't want to commit too much and get hurt, because I know he's a very dangerous fighter on the inside. I had to stick to my game plan.
Well, congratulations on the victory. Welcome to the UFC. We can't wait to see you again. Miguel Torres, ladies and gentlemen.
Miguel Torres winning tonight here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas. The former champion of the bantamweight division in the WEC.
Later tonight, it is our main event of the evening for the UFC Middleweight Championship as Anderson Silva fights Vitor Belfort. Earlier tonight, the arrival of the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today, Anderson Silva, who has won a UFC record 12 straight fights inside the octagon. Also arriving earlier tonight, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, Vitor Belfort, who will look to join Randy Couture and BJ Penn as the only men in UFC history to hold a title in 2 different weight classes.
Unbeaten Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Carlos Eduardo Rocha has won all but one of his fights by submission. Tonight, he looks to finish Jake Ellenberger.
It's been said that a black belt in jiu-jitsu can turn into a white belt once punches start landing. Jake Ellenberger wants to prove that theory correct tonight, while Carlos Eduardo Rocha plans on adding another submission victim to his resume.
I know Carlos wants to get this fight to the ground,
but the only time he's going to see the ground is when I knock him out and he's laying on the floor.
He can say whatever he wants to say. I don't care. I'm not scared of him. He's just my next opponent that I have to defeat on my way up to the top.
In close to 3 years as a pro, Carlos Eduardo Rocha has made it clear that if he gets you to the mat, he'll finish you off. In his UFC debut last November, Todd Donato ended Chris McRae's night in less than 3 minutes, and he is confident of the same result tonight.
I cannot guarantee anything, but I know if he makes a mistake, I will submit him in the first round like I did to Chris McRae.
One of the hardest punchers in the welterweight division, Jake Ellenberger's 2 wins over Mike Pyle and John Howard have both come by TKO. And when he lands clean, it's usually bad news for opponents. Tonight, he wants to show Rocha that the best defense is a good offense.
I'm going to keep this fight on the feet. He knows the power I have. I can knock him out with the right or use my uppercut and hook and end his night.
Carlos Eduardo Rocha, for the first time tonight, fights in the United States of America. His previous MMA fights have all been in Germany. Great story. Grew up basically an orphan, was brought in to train jiu-jitsu and turned that into his life by Darcio Lira, the 9th degree red belt. He just recently got a tattoo that says, UFC is my life.
Well, you know, he looked fantastic in his octagon debut against Chris McRae. Really showed a sharp ground game in that fight. McRae made an error on the ground, and Rocha, he just jumped under it and got under that knee bar. It was beautiful. And Carlos is he's a very big guy for 170 pounds, very solid, which is he's going to need tonight against Ellenberger, because Ellenberger is a beast.
Rocha Joe has never gone the distance. 9-0 overall, 1-0 as we mentioned in the UFC. Competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by age 15, has over 50 trophies sitting somewhere on some shelf, has trained all over the world, Germany, Rio de Janeiro, Salvador, Fortaleza, and also spent some time on the West Coast in San Francisco.
Yeah, his jiu-jitsu is very, very high level, and he's going to want to take this fight to the ground, but as Ellenberger said, he does not want to go to the ground, and Ellenberger's a solid wrestler. So I'm curious to see what his strategy is going to be and how he's going to try to take it to the ground.
Definitely the strongest wrestler that Carlos Eduardo Rocha has faced in his MMA career. Born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska, the son of a Midwestern iron worker. Strong wrestler, powerful puncher, Jake Ellenberger.
Jake Ellenberger, I was a fan of this kid before he ever got to the UFC. When he knocked out Muay Thai legend Pele in 1 round with a big punch. He's got some serious power in his hands. We saw that in the Carlos Condit fight and many of his other fights as well. The John Howard fight where he closed John Howard's eye and stopped him. He's a really strong wrestler, very solid technique with his wrestling and his ground game. And as I said, 1-punch knockout power.
Made his debut in Oklahoma City against Carlos Condit, the fight you mentioned. That was a very close fight, and he put some hurt on Condit late.
Yes, he did, and a lot of people thought he could have got the nod in that fight as well. Stopped Mike Pyle, dangerous veteran as well. You know, so in his 3 fights in the UFC, he's looked outstanding and shown a lot of dangerous technique. Coming into this fight, he was originally slated to be fighting against John Fitch. He was very excited about that fight. Of course, John Fitch, former title challenger, a huge name in the division, and it would have been a big step up for Ellenberger. He was real excited about that. Unfortunately, things got shifted around for him, and now he's stuck fighting Rocha. So he would like to make a big statement here tonight and get back on track to face one of the big names of the division in his next fight. But he's got to be very careful that he doesn't look past Rocha, because as we said, Rocha's got some really good ground submission skills.
The UFC matchmaker Joe Silva said not a lot of people get excited when they're told their potential opponent is John Fitch. Ellenberger was, but tonight, first things first, as you mentioned.
If you could call Ellenberger up and tell him he's fighting for the title, he'd get excited about that as well.
Our tale of the tape
for this welterweight fight. The Brazilian, 4 years the elder of the American. Ellenberger, 2 inches taller. Reach is identical. And here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a perfect professional record. 9 wins, no losses. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Hamburg, Germany, by way of Salvador Bahia, Brazil, Carlos Eduardo Tadonado Rocha. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 23 wins, 5 losses, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Kim Winslow.
Kim Winslow, our referee for this welterweight fight. The beautiful Brittany, Ariani, Shondella, Ellenberger, and Rocha. White trunks for the Brazilian.
He clipped him right away with a big left-handed Ellenberger, but he's on his back.
Ellenberger in the orange and black.
Good job for Ellenberger getting right back up to his feet, but he's locked up with Rocha, and he does not want this. He doesn't want this to be anything remotely close to a ground battle. Not that he's not capable, he's very capable on the ground. He just has a gigantic advantage in the stand-up. Nice knee by Ellenberger. And Rocha struggling very hard. Oh, good takedown. Ellenberger on top, inside control. You got to get him away from the cage, Mike.
Of Ellenberger there, Joe.
Yeah, he's a beast. You got to get him away from the cage, though. He doesn't want Rocha to be able to push off those feet and adjust the position. Rocha back to his feet, very nicely done.
1 minute into the fight.
And Rocha's stand-up is not nearly at the level of Ellenberger's, and that's... Look at this, though. Oh! Oh, this is not good at all.
Great position.
Rocha on top, side control, and he will smother like a blanket. Ellenberger's got to get an underhook and scramble to his feet. Look at that transition. Look at that spin to the side. Ellenberger's got to be very, very careful here.
8 of his 9 career wins have been by submission.
The step over with the left leg, Mike, the significance of that is it puts him in a position to get the Kimura better. He's hunting for the left arm of Ellenberger. Ellenberger's got to protect it. He switches over to the other side. Effortlessly goes back and forth, transitions from the left to the right side. And Ellenberger's got to be very careful here. As we said, Rocha is a very high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and little mistakes will get capitalized on. So Ellenberger's got to keep his hands in tight. He's got to be careful of that left hand. Rocha so far, not really striking, just maintaining position, looking for openings, north-south position. And Ellenberger is looking to stay tight. Now he's going for the left arm, the right arm. He's trying to wrap it up. He keeps hopping back and forth, but he's not attacking anything.
Well, Ellenberger trains with Rodrigo Vahi, who is a tremendous 4th degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he kind of talked about that. He gets tested in practice all the time.
He's switched over his back. Look at that transition. That was deadly. And look at this transition to the mount. Look at that. That is high-level ground game there. And right back to side control.
Looking to get that leg over the top again.
That was just a beautiful, smooth transition. The back to the mount, and now Ellenberger knows just from how quickly he hit those key positions that he can't make any mistakes with this guy. This is the last place Ellenberger wants to be. Doesn't want to be on the ground, period, and he certainly doesn't want to be on the ground on his back with this beast on top of him. Now Rocha's going to try to tie up a leg lock, Mike. The reason why he's got that underhook on the left leg, he's going to try to extend that leg. He's going to step over and try to turn it into a leg bar, a knee bar rather, the same thing he did with Chris McCray. And he's in a good position to utilize that now. The key to this is stepping in with that right leg. He's got to get that right leg in between those 2 legs to try to finish this off. Now he's attacking the right leg. He's got an underhook on the right leg now. Ellenberger's got to be careful here.
No headbutting. No headbutting. None.
Accidental.
Maybe not. Oh, look at that transition.
Reversal of fortunes, perhaps.
Ellenberger's got the neck. Get back up to his feet. Nicely done by Ellenberger.
Smothering was Hosha. Ellenberger able to fight off the multiple submission attempts. Nice that one nicely and buried a knee in his midsection.
Oh!
Spinning back fist wasn't there, so he continued. Nice sprawl again. 30 seconds.
Big punches by Ellenberger.
He's got some vicious ground and pound job.
Oh, look at
Trying to crank the arm.
Look at that transition. He's got it.
For the submission.
He's going, he's switching for the Kimura to the Americana.
How smooth was that?
What
Final
a
seconds of
beautiful
the round.
ground game Hocha has. He's stepping over. Wow, what a round.
Heavy
and look
ground
at this.
and pound.
Look at how he attacks this. What he's doing is he's like going for a Kimura, flips him right over there. I mean, that is just beautiful technique. It's hard to do that on a blue belt, all right? Doing that on a guy like Jake Ellenberger, a beast of a wrestler, and then immediately transitions in. Looks like he's going for an Americana or a straight armbar. Ellenberger defends, but it was a very hairy moment for Ellenberger. Look how he rolls him over here with this. Man, that is just gorgeous technique. You very rarely see a guy hit that from that position. Hocha has a nasty ground game. Jake Ellenberger's got to be a bit concerned coming into the second round because he was clearly dominated on the ground.
Leg kick.
Ellenberger with a big knee.
And again.
Drags him to the ground. Ellenberger pressing him down. Hocha's turtling up, and he's eating some shots.
Ellenberger, 23 career wins. Hocha unbeaten. 9-0. Looks for it again. Hocha pushes forward. Ellenberger saw it coming. Ellenberger looking for his 25th career MMA victory tonight here in Las Vegas. To the body.
And Ellenberger's got to know, Mike, that he lost that first round.
Yep.
Pretty clearly.
And he wanted to come in, like you said, Joe, not only to win tonight, but to really kind of put himself in that category of real contender in the welterweight division.
He went from being able to fight John Fitch, who's the #1 contender, and now he's fighting Hocha, who only had one fight in the UFC, and he's getting his ass kicked, you know, especially in that first round. I shouldn't say getting his ass kicked. Lost that first round. Not happy with it.
Switches his stance for a moment.
You know, he could have come into this fight, it's possible, a bit overconfident. You know, Ellenberger is on such a win streak, been doing so well in the UFC. Hocha with some good kicks here.
His last 3 wins were by knockout or TKO. He's won 6 of his last 7. You talked about that crazy knockout of MMA legend Jose Pele Landy Johns in 7 seconds.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous right hand he clipped Pele with. you know, Pele's old school Valley Tudo legend. Guy who fought Chuck Liddell in one of those no rules fights where they had netting at the bottom of the ring to keep guys from slipping under. It's a pretty spectacular fight, but I mean, it just shows you what incredible power Ellenberger has to put that guy away with one shot.
Trying to connect with that right hand.
And Hocha can take a shot too, Mike, because Ellenberger's clipped him a couple of times. And he got him with a nice straight jab there.
Under 2 on the clock, round 2. Much different round 2 than we saw in round 1 with all the ground game being displayed.
Ellenberger is a bit more hesitant coming in. Oh, he clipped him with a nice left hook there. You know, after that first round, realizing that Hocha can take him down, that he can get caught in the submission, in the transitions and put on his back, a little bit more hesitant in this second round here. Oh, look at that.
Flying knee.
Yeah, Hocha's wild, man.
Yep. Ellenberger again looking to finish the fight with one big right hand.
This is one of those fights where, you know, you think about Ellenberger's mind right now, where his mentality's at. He's got to be a bit frustrated, you know, considering the fact that he was set up to fight a guy like John Fitch and considering the fact that this is not really going his way. But fights like this for a young fighter like Ellenberger, win, lose, or draw, he's only 25 years old. He's got a massive future in this sport. Tremendous amount of potential. This is only good for him. Only good for his composure, only good for his mindset. And for Hocha, this is a massive opportunity.
And Joe, the one thing I know you would caution Ellenberger not to do, though, is get over anxious and look for the highlight reel knockout and leave yourself in a bad spot.
Interesting, he decides to go for the takedown. Let's see what kind of a ground game Hocha has off his back. Now, not much time to work, but we did see in the Chris McRae fight that Hocha works very well off his back. Look at this. Throwing a leg over, transitioning. What's he trying to do here? He's trying to get his right knee out to try to get a triangle. He's pinning the foot down. Yeah, he's trying to get a that was very close.
Yep, well-timed takedown for Ellenberger as well.
Yeah. Yeah, good scoring-wise for Ellenberger. Probably solidified that round because otherwise it was fairly uneventful.
When you get to the end of the round, you got to submit him. Don't let him hit your face. Use your jabs. And every time he stops in front of you, you got to jab and kick him. Your kicks are landing. You won the first round. The second round was tight. Let's win the third round. Let's go, brother.
All right, this could easily be anyone's round.
Absolutely.
Whoever wins this round may very well win this fight. I think you got to think that Ellenberger probably won that second round very slightly because of the takedown. I gave Hocha the first round. This could be it.
Ellenberger, high school swimmer and diver who started wrestling in college at age 21, walked on to Division II powerhouse Nebraska Omaha, and you can see how he's excelled with his wrestling as his base in MMA.
Good inside leg kick.
The knee by the Brazilian.
Hocha's game in the stand-up definitely seems to be staying on the outside and utilizing those kicks. Nice inside leg kick.
Timed perfectly as Ellenberger was thinking about coming in.
But again, and Ellenberger replies.
Jake's twin brother Joe, also a mixed martial artist, fought through a blood disorder, and Jake said, man, I fight for my family, I fight for my brother, always motivated and looking for the neck.
Ellenberger on top of him, but he's got to be very careful here. Hocha's ground game is so dangerous, and Ellenberger lets him stand back up. I saw that. Really telegraphed that spin. He's doing it again. If you notice, Mike, as he drops his hip back, he drops his right hip, he's looking to spin when he does that.
And most importantly, Ellenberger sees it as well.
Yes.
With that kick, under 3 now.
Well, Hocha, having such an outstanding ground game, is not afraid to throw those kicks. He doesn't mind being on his back, and you saw at the end of that round, he was working towards securing a triangle on Ellenberger.
Very close fight with just over 2.5 left.
Yeah, if I was in Hocha's corner right now, I'd be Ellenberger with a big punch.
Came right as Hocha was throwing the kick.
You got to think Ellenberger, you know, having controlled Hocha earlier and held that takedown and then stepped away. Scoring-wise, you got to give that to Ellenberger, right? He controlled that little exchange.
Yep.
That might be the only significant exchange we've seen so far. That and one big right hand by Ellenberger. Ellenberger again went for a takedown there, but lost it.
Under 2 now.
Either way, this is, you know, Ellenberger can't be really that happy with his performance. For Hocha, this is a no-lose situation. If he loses to a highly ranked contender in his second UFC fight, and he did a good job in the process. For Ellenberger, here's a guy who's unknown, comes out of nowhere, supposed to be fighting the #1 contender, and, you know, is really not doing so good against this guy.
Well, for Hocha, 8 of 9 of his wins, Joe, had come in the first round. As I mentioned earlier, he's never gone the distance, but we're getting close to that being the case tonight.
Oh, head kick by Hocha.
Pushed aside by Ellenberger. Back up.
Minute to go. Let's see something happen, boys. Ellenberger's got a cut under his left eye now, Mike.
Inside leg kick, that one checked.
Good right hand by Ellenberger.
That well-timed takedown in the second was huge for Ellenberger. And a nice one there.
Now, Hocha's got to control him. He's got to hold him in position. It's tough to do that when the butterfly guard's in place. He's got his one leg out. He wants to get that left leg up and over the shoulders of Ellenberger. He's got to control him on the left side with his overhook, with Hocha's right arm using that overhook. And he's got to get that right butterfly free, Mike. The right leg that's trapped inside Jake Ellenberger's legs, that's keeping him from being offensive on his back. And now he steps up, and Ellenberger on top.
Final seconds of the fight.
This could be easily, that
We go the distance.
That could have been it.
We will head to the judges' scorecards. Ellenberger and Hocha fight the entire 3 5-minute rounds.
And they see a nice straight right by Ellenberger. And there's a Hocha head kick, and Ellenberger used it to take him down. And there's another takedown by Ellenberger towards the end of the round, which was a good strategy.
Judges rendering their decision. Will it be Ellenberger or will it be Hocha?
I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if you don't win.
With the official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, Hosha. 29-28, Ellenberger. And 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger.
Split decision victory for Jake Ellenberger.
How did one judge score every round for Hosha? That is bizarre.
Ellenberger.
We need to find out what judge that was.
Defeats Hosha Joe by split decision here tonight. Tonight, one light heavyweight will move from rising star to true top contender. Who will it be? Ryan Bader or Jon Jones?
I'm for real, and I'm here to stay. I'm going for my title shot.
Oh, big right hand!
I can do this. I can be a champion.
Ryan Bader versus Jon Jones. No one has been able to figure out or beat either one of them, and this is a showdown to find out who's the top dog in the light heavyweight division.
The guy who wins this fight is in the top 5 and in line for a title shot.
Jones likes it.
Ryan Bader is my title shot right now. He's everything right now. But I never look past an opponent.
Oh, big right hand! He's in trouble!
You know, I'm not scared of Jon Jones. I want to fight him. I want to go out there and take his name, take his fans, and take that win. I'm not scared of, you know, his flashy moves, hype he has.
Ryan mentioning my flashiness, that's what he's afraid of.
I think he's going to be a little less flashy in this fight because he knows I have the tools to put him on his back. I'm not here to show off. I'm here to win.
He doesn't kick, he doesn't knee, he doesn't spin, he doesn't jump. I feel very confident.
Jones has the tools to go down to be one of the best ever.
I'm going to go in there to get inside and knock him out and take him down.
Both guys have had tremendous success in the octagon, and both guys are extremely promising.
Get the win and move on.
Unbeaten Arizona State Sun Devil All-American Ryan Bader.
A lot of people are counting Ryan Bader out in this fight, and I don't really understand why. I know Jon Jones is promising, but guess what? So is this man. Ryan Bader is a Division I All-American wrestler, and he has some serious knockout power in his hands. He is also a very big light heavyweight, heavily muscled, very strong base, great chin, great camp, great cardio. He has all the tools, as does Bader, to be a top contender and a big threat to the title in the light heavyweight division.
Season 8 Ultimate Fighter winner. Ryan Bader, tremendous football player in high school. 2001 Nevada Defensive Player of the Year. 2-time high school state champion. 3-time Pac-10 wrestling champion. Over 120 collegiate wins. 2-time Division I All-American. And most importantly, Bader's in a great place mentally. Joe, I live in the desert. I train in Tempe, talking to a bunch of his training partners. They said Bader's always in shape, but he has never been in this type of shape before.
Well, he's the type of fighter that rises to the occasion, and the occasion is at hand.
The world can believe what they will, but I can tell you this, Ryan Bader believes he can beat Jon Jones tonight.
But can he?
Yes, that is an excellent
the big question. That's why this is so exciting.
Ryan Darth Bader. 5-0 in the UFC, 13-0 in his career.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike, coming into this fight, there's a lot more pressure on both of these fighters than they have ever faced in their career. Jon Jones has had a lot of hype on him in the past, but the hype has increased exponentially with each victory as he gets closer and closer to the title shot. Tonight, coming in here, he looks noticeably more nervous walking in than we've seen him in previous fights.
And I think with all the hype surrounding Jon Jones, while there is pressure on both fighters, because of that hype machine, there may just be more pressure on Jon Jones.
Yes, there is more pressure on Jon Jones. Ryan Bader's the underdog, and the underdog always has a little bit of weight off of his shoulders because nobody expects him to win. Jon Jones is so hyped up. He's so spectacular. He's been so dynamic in his performances that all eyes are on him. And with all those eyes carries a tremendous amount of weight.
Fifth youngest fighter in the UFC today, Johnny Bones.
He keeps making these big, deep breaths and blowing them out his mouth.
An axe kick or a crazy spinning elbow, though, could take a lot of nervousness away real quickly. He is unorthodox, but man, is he effective.
He's unorthodox, he's creative, he's very intelligent, and he works hard. He's not just talented, he's talented and disciplined.
Also talked about many times, junior college wrestling champion, was on his way to wrestle at the storied program at the University of Iowa. Great Greco-Roman background. So while Bader is an outstanding wrestler, Jones has got great wrestling skills as well.
He truly is a prodigy, Mike. The things that he does in the octagon you very rarely see. Like when he hits, he grabs double underhooks on guys and launches them through the air like no one I've ever seen.
He threw Matt Hamill around.
Yeah, tossed Matt Hamill around, tossed Vladimir Matyushenko around, who's also an outstanding wrestler, tossed around Brandon Vera. I mean, he's a beast.
Jon Jones has the it factor.
He has it, and he has it in buckets full.
Ryan Bader taking on Johnny Bones Jones. Our tale of the tape for this light heavyweight fight. 27-year-old Bader takes on 23-year-old Jones, who will have a 10.5-inch reach advantage. With the introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a wrestler, holding a perfect professional record, 13 wins, no losses. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Ultimate Fighter Season 8 winner, Ryan Darth Bader! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 11 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 206 pounds. Fighting out of Endicott, New York, Jon Bones Jones! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
All right, gentlemen, in the center. Center up. We've been over the rules. Gentlemen, protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. You're gonna have a clean fight. Touch gloves, let's make it official.
Who will truly become the next big thing? Will it be Bader or will it be Jones?
You ready to fight? You ready? Let's do it.
Here we go.
Red trunks for Jones, black trunks for Bader. He has a heavy, heavy overhand right.
And a heavy left hook as well, Mike. Very physically strong man. And the most dangerous guy John Jones has faced. And for sure, John Jones is the most dangerous guy that Ryan Bader has faced as well.
Absolutely.
He has faced Bones' teammate. Look at that.
Trying to crank on the neck.
He's got a guillotine, but he is in side control now.
Bader's so strong. Hard to do from that position, as you mentioned.
Nice knee to the body by Jones.
Vicious elbows possessed by John Jones. And fast and heavy.
Right away, Bader's got to figure out a way to get up to his feet. North-south for John Jones. He's tucking under the neck of Ryan Bader. Look out for the north-south choke. His left arm is under the neck. See that? See that left arm? Watch his right hand. If his right hand scoops under and grasps a hold of his hands, he is going for a north-south choke, Mike.
Jones cranking on it.
Well, right now his arm is trapped, his right arm. In adjusting, though, he may lose the position, and that's what he's got to be careful of. Boy, he looks like he's trying to finish it here, and he may very well be finishing it here.
Trying to choke out Ryan Bader.
Bader's stuck, man. He's in a bad spot. I don't think Bader knows what to do here. He's got to pummel under with his left arm and try to create some space. He's got a little bit of space now, but still, John Jones is on top, still in side control and transitioning back and forth to north-south. Now he's in guard. Nope. John Jones stopped that really quick. Good control from the top by John Jones.
Just 2 minutes into the fight.
Bader's got to figure out how to get up to his feet here.
Jones made his MMA debut at age 20. He had 6 wins in 3 months, 5 of them by knockout.
Back up to his feet is Bader.
Nicely done, Ryan Bader.
You know, another thing we've never seen really is John Jones tired. We saw him a bit tired in the Stephan Bonner fight, but he was dominating that fight. We've never seen him tired in a competitive bout.
And you know, going in with the wrestling ability and the strength and endurance of Bader, that's one of the things they'd like to see.
Yes.
Exactly how he reacts to.
Yes.
If he can push his cardio.
High kick by Jones.
Under 2. Looking for the shot.
Stuffed easily. Easily stuffed by Jones, effortlessly.
And looking to maybe set something up again from this position, Joe.
I'm kind of shocked right away at how strong John Jones is in comparison to Bader. We know he's strong, but so is Bader. But in these transitions, in these positions, you know, John Jones just effortlessly controlled him.
That right arm's in place again.
And Bader is going to try to use that right underhook to stand back up to his feet. He's got to get that left leg free, though. It's in between the legs, and he's got the left leg free. But now as he's standing up, Jones is controlling his body. He stepped right over him and got his back. But Bader's got a Kimura. Nope, lost that on his back. Big elbows.
There's those huge elbows. Those are fight-changing elbows. That one glanced upon Bader, but man, he brings them up and through on crazy angles with crazy force, Joe.
Bader trying to scoot underneath him, get an underhook on the left leg. Again, he's on his back. John Jones is just able to control Bader in a way that really is kind of surprising to me. He's scooping under for a Darce choke.
Jones training with Team Jackson in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Keep the elbows clean.
Good elbows by John Jones.
Right to the rib cage of Bader. Final seconds of round number 1.
Bader covering up, John Jones on top. Big round for John Jones. Let's take a look at some of the action in that round. And here Jon Jones drops a knee to the body and went for this very strange choke. It was like, oh, they don't show that here. Now here's a head kick, partially blocked by Ryan Bader. Now look at this, steps right over him, gets his back. Bader tries to attack with a Kimura, gets put on his back.
Mr. Winklejohn, sir.
Getting his timing out there, getting his timing out there. Let those punches fall and then attack. Play the length on him, let his punches fall and then attack. If you get off first, hit him as...
Yes, sir. Now it's round to 6. Yes, sir.
All right. If you get off first, it's a piece of cake. If he gets off first, make it long, make him miss, and then count.
Let's go. Let's go. Put your fucking hands on him.
CB Dollaway with some strong words.
He is his roommate for a long time. Teammate at Arizona State, CB Dollaway. Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn.
Let's fight.
Talking in the corner, Jon Jones, round 2. Herb Dean said, watch the 12-6 elbow. Jon Jones, yes, sir. Bader on a couple of takedown attempts ended up having Jon Jones turn it into a positive position. Let's see how he looks for shots here in this round, Joe. And if he does.
Quick left hook there by Mr. Jones. Switches positions, goes to southpaw. And Bader coming up short with those punches. The reach of Jon Jones is the longest in the division.
84.5-inch reach.
Nice leg kick, very quickly done. Well, that reach is tough to fade.
Man.
Oh, he landed a big shot there, did Bader.
Bader hits hard.
He does, but Jon Jones walked right through it. That might have been the hardest that Jon Jones has ever been hit in the UFC. Nice leg kick by Bader.
Just out of the range. 3.5. Bader with that big swing of the right.
Good jab by Bader. The jab found its way. Big swing by Bader.
Good first round, as you said, for Jon Jones, but a very physical first round. A lot of groundwork, Joe.
Yeah, but he was on top the whole time. Yep. You know, Bader was the one who had to work really hard, carrying the weight of Jon Jones and defending himself. And plus, just the anxiety of being put on your back and being put in a position where you know you're losing the round. Very nice combination by Mr. Jones.
Bader trying to get the clinch.
Bader stuffs that takedown attempt.
Let your punches go, Bader, from the corner of Ryan. He's so big and strong, he'd like to get fluid, he'd like to get loose.
It's definitely hard after that first round of tough grappling.
Pressure and big punches.
And Bader seems to be anticipating counters too, man. Mike, when he's throwing a punch, it seems like he's a little hesitant and worried about the counters.
Jones, nicely done.
Kick.
Jumped into that one.
Yeah, he cut him with that.
2 minutes on the clock, round 2.
And again, he just digs that shin in.
Two of the most rapidly rising stars in the UFC today, in the whole MMA world.
Jones is starting to find his range with the stand-up and his rhythm, and lands a nice right hand on Ryan Bader there.
Bader has not looked for a takedown here in round 2. Looking up at the clock quickly was Jones.
Nice kick. Oh, look at this. Drops down, Jones controls him. Underhook by Ryan Bader on the left side, and that's what he's going to try to use to stand back up with.
Working on that neck of Ryan Bader again.
Yeah, it looks like he's working for a Darce choke, Mike. I can't see it from this angle, but I do believe he's grabbing his bicep, yes.
Under a minute now.
Yeah, he's working to try that. He's trying to slide his right arm all the way through, and he's going to try to connect it to his bicep. And that's one of the things about having such a long reach. It enables, oh, he's going for a guillotine. It enables him to attack with chokes. Oh, he got it!
It's all over! John Jones chokes out Ryan Bader!
Wow. Man.
Jones forces Bader to tap.
We were at a funny angle where we couldn't see how he was holding on to his neck. Let's take a look at it in the replay, though. We'll get a better look at how he was grabbing him. It looked like he was going for a Darce at one point. Their backs were to us, though. Yeah, he went right for a straight guillotine here. Tightened it right up, twisted it, and Bader was stuck. Here we see it again. Yep. John Jones.
Impressive in passing the biggest test of his career.
You know, he's so well-rounded, too, for such a young guy who's only been competing and training for just a little over 3 years. I mean, it's really incredibly impressive.
Tried to crank on the neck in the first round of Bader. Looked to finish the choke, was able to do so in the second round. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 20 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a guillotine choke, John Bones Jones!
John Jones, the winner.
All right, I'm here with the winner, John Bones Jones. The biggest test of your career, you came through in flying colors. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
Well, you know, I got a tattoo on my chest that says Philippians 4:13, which means I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So I feel so confident every time I come in here. I feel as if it's my time, and I'm hungry, and I'm going for it. I want it.
You heard him, ladies and gentlemen. The future Johnny Bones Jones.
Now it's time for 2 MMA veterans and former champions who remain amongst the most popular fighters in UFC history to collide in the octagon. It's Forrest Griffin and Rich Ace Franklin.
I feel good. I feel confident in my game.
You're swimming with the sharks. That's what you're doing. And you're going to see the two of us pounding on each other.
Forrest Griffin and Rich Franklin are 2 of the top fighters in the world at 205 pounds.
Rich Franklin! Are you kidding me?
Rich Franklin is one of the very best fighters in mixed martial arts. This crowd is standing on its feet. Crafty veteran, very, very well-rounded.
He seems like a very similar image of myself.
What a performance by Forrest Griffin!
Both guys have excellent stand-up.
You have a fairly well-rounded fighter that has knockout power on his feet, and as the fight goes on, he fights harder. Did I just describe me, or did I describe Forrest?
Forrest Griffin throws himself in the line of fire, throws himself in front of danger. You will never see Forrest Griffin fight cautiously. It's just not in him.
Looking to choke out Rampage.
If Forrest Griffin is standing in front of someone, he throws down.
I expect this fight to be an absolute war. I don't see this fight going 3 rounds, and I already predicted that I think this is going to be the fight of the night.
You put 2 of us in the octagon together, and it's not going to be a boring fight, and I know that. It doesn't matter who's standing on the opposite side of that octagon. I'm not going to lose.
Me and Rich are kind of the same. We both got knockout power. We both fight to the bitter end. It's going to be a great fight.
Career for the former UFC middleweight champion, Rich Ace Franklin weighed in very comfortably at 203 pounds. Spent this entire training camp in Cincinnati, Ohio, with George Gurgel and Neil Rowe and Rob Radford and his great team. Tonight, he takes on Forrest Griffin.
Rich Franklin is sort of in a new phase of his career, Mike. You know, I mean, he's moved out of the middleweight division, moved into the light heavyweight division, no longer cutting weight. Seems very comfortable. And, you know, even though he's 36 years of age, he seems to be improving. He's faced so many tough veterans, from Vanderlei Silva to Dan Henderson to Anderson Silva twice, Chuck Liddell.
Tonight's fight for Rich, Joe, is his 10th fight against fighters who were current or former UFC or Pride champions. Like you said, Tanner twice, Machida, Silva twice, Vanderlei Silva, Henderson, Belfort, Liddell. It's like a who's who of MMA.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has more experience than, I mean, it's just an incredible amount of experience, I should just say. Fought so many tough fighters. And as I said, I like him better at light heavyweight. He made a tremendous cut to get down to 185, and I think it significantly hampers your performance. There's a point of diminishing returns, and he was the middleweight champion, don't get me wrong, but I think he fights better when he doesn't have to cut the weight.
Rich Franklin likes himself better during weigh-in days when he's at 205 pounds as well.
Sure.
And he is a warrior. I mean, broken left arm against Chuck, 3 months to heal. Busted up in victory over Lawazo.
And by the way, threw punches with that broken arm.
Yes, absolutely. The middleweight title last changed hands in October of 2006. It used to belong to Franklin. Later tonight in our main event, Anderson Silva defends. Month layoff for the original Ultimate Fighter as a member of Team Liddell and the former UFC light heavyweight champion, Forrest Griffin.
I think the layoff is going to do him good, though, Mike. He had to get some injuries taken care of, a shoulder surgery, and, you know, he had a bunch of other nagging things that you know, when you're constantly in competition fighting the best fighters in the world, you're going to get beat up. You're always going to have something. You're never going to come in 100%. So this long layoff allowed him to recuperate, recover, and he's got a renewed vigor and enthusiasm for competition now.
He last fought right here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Defeated Tito Ortiz, fought with a broken toe, a cranked up neck, but as you said, Forrest always comes to fight, always comes to battle, a true warrior in all sense of the word.
A true warrior, and by the way, a great author. He's got two great books, Got Fight, and the new one, When the SHI You Know What Goes Down, which is another great book. I mean, he's a really funny guy, on top of being a great fighter.
Forrest Griffin, Rich Franklin, our co-main event of the evening. Griffin, born in Columbus, Ohio, was a police officer in Athens, Georgia, now trains right here in Vegas. Franklin, born and raised in Cincinnati. Tail of the tape for this light heavyweight matchup. Franklin, 5 years the elder of Griffin. Griffin, much bigger than Rich Franklin. Reach nearly identical. And with the official introductions, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. This fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record, 28 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 203 pounds. Fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC middleweight champion, Rich Ace Franklin! And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record, 17 wins, 6 losses, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC light heavyweight champion, Forrest Griffin! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
Clean and fair fight, gentlemen. Obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Now hook them up.
Two great guys. Great champions, UFC legends. Forrest Griffin, Rich Franklin. UFC 126.
Bring it on, come on.
Here we go. Southpaw Franklin in the brown and pink. Black trunks for Forrest Griffin.
Both men first fight since injuries. Rich Franklin, of course, broke his arm in the Chuck Liddell bout, was kicked by Chuck and snapped his left forearm. And Forrest Griffin, of course, coming off a shoulder surgery.
Yeah, Griffin is truly turned into one of MMA's elite, and he's on top early.
By the way, Forrest Griffin, very underrated ground game. You don't see too much of it because he likes to stand, but he's very good on the ground.
In November of 2010, received his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt from Robert Drysdale. He said if you work at it long enough, you'll get it, but Forrest always pokes fun at himself from his days on The Ultimate Fighter to present day, trying to rough up Franklin early.
Franklin trying to control Franklin trying to control Forrest's posture here. And Rich is doing a good job so far. But Forrest, a big, heavy guy. You know, he cuts a lot to get down to 205, Mike. He's probably close to 225 right now.
Similar to how Franklin was at 85.
Yes, very similar. Yeah, Forrest looks like a heavyweight when you see him, you know, in between camps.
Absolutely. And Rich talked about that pre-fight.
Well, it was one of the examples that Rich used when I asked him about whether or not back when he decided to drop down to middleweight, Forrest Griffin was one of the examples. It's like, these guys are bigger than me. It's like, Forrest is a giant guy, and that was, you know, that was one of his decision-making points, you know, for deciding to get down to 185.
In the combined last 8 fights of Franklin and Griffin, 4 fight of the nights, a submission of the night, and a knockout of the night. Knockout of the night was Franklin against Liddell.
Forrest is dropping some ground and pound on Rich.
Both men have the reputation of always being in superb condition. Griffin on top of Franklin again. Close guard. Rich doing a good job of controlling Griffin's posture.
Rich was doing a good job from the bottom with wrist control on the right arm of Forrest, as Forrest wants to drop down with those elbows. And Forrest keeps trying to step over the left leg of Franklin's and pass the guard. Rich is tying him up pretty good.
Yep, controlling the posture.
Yeah, keeping him from getting too much damage off. Oh, there, got a few shots through. And Forrest wisely switches up from the body to the head.
Under 2 remain in round 1.
So far, Rich keeps holding on to that wrist of Forrest, that right wrist, but not attacking. possibly worried about losing position and getting stuck under the bigger man in a dominant spot.
Franklin was the middleweight champion for 16 months. Close guard. Griffin trying to mix it up a little bit. As you said, Joe, Rich doing a good job.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of avoiding too much damage, but he's working hard under there, Mike.
Big, heavy dude on top of him.
Yeah.
Good elbows.
And, you know, Forrest is the one who's constantly attacking, and Rich has to constantly be defending. And it's carrying all that weight on him.
Jam that forearm into the neck area of Franklin. Deep breath for Forrest. 35 seconds. In front of Franklin's corner, George Gurgel, Rob Radford. Under 30. Got that wrist control on the right hand again. Forrest trying to get it free.
Rich keeps holding on to that right arm, either the wrist or the bicep, but not throwing anything up. No armbar attempts.
Final seconds of the round.
Good first round for Forrest Griffin.
Have a seat and relax. Take deep breaths and relax. Nice work. Okay. We're going to use that separation stuff we've been working on to keep him from being able to shoot on you. We're going to make him have to work for that, okay? The hand control. The hand control and the foot control, okay? He's tired, man. He spent a lot of energy. And you know, he's going to come back and make him really overexert by coming at you. Remember how that works with the drawing, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Just lift it and then fall. See, he cannot damage you if you pay attention. No damage. Now, study. A little more tired this time and maybe a little slower. Maybe start chopping on him a little bit. Keep that distance. Sean, you got anything to say, bud?
Yeah, keep that movement. Just like you start off, that was great, man. Give him some offense stuff. Switch his speed.
Juke him. Show him a little something, okay?
Drop his legs.
The beautiful Brittany set for round two. Interesting discussion in the corner. Franklin saying he's a bit tired now, and Rich was in agreement, Joe. And as you said, it was Forrest who was on top, though. Rich was carrying the weight.
Yeah, I think that's wishful thinking. I don't think Forrest is tired.
The old positive message in the corner, right?
He didn't even look like he was breathing heavy in the corner. Nice inside leg kick by Forrest. By the way, Forrest is known for his conditioning.
Absolutely.
Even after shoulder surgery, he was right back in the gym, on the treadmill, doing everything he can to maintain conditioning. He's a tireless worker.
He throws a big, heavy right leg, too. Now he's throwing it against the southpaw tonight, but he's still looking for it.
Randy Couture said that Forrest Griffin is the only guy that outworks him.
That is not easy to do. They basically had to steal his keys and lock the gym at night, throw him out. Franklin said the key to this victory tonight, the key to this fight, the key to victory would be footwork, in and out, stick and move, and let's see if he can establish that here. Use his footwork and his speed is what Rich talked about.
Well, after that first round, Rich is definitely going to want to stay off the ground, especially from the bottom position. Good body kick by Mr. Franklin.
Forrest really put those kicks on display against Rampage.
Nice inside leg kick there by Forrest.
Head kick.
And that's the arm that got broken by Chuck Liddell, by the way.
Yep.
Uh-oh. He's got a hold of him. He's got his back. Drags him down. Forrest is going to pull him on. He's got the hooks. Looking for that second hook, that left leg. The long limbs of Forrest Griffin.
This ever-evolving sport of MMA, they cheer the takedown. They know the game, our fans all around the world.
Steps over.
Big shots. Rich is up. Can he stay up?
He's got to get wrist control, separate and spin. Got to separate those hands.
Yanks back down for a moment.
Forrest drags him to the ground. And Rich right back up. He's got to press out those hands, Mike. Push his hips back against Forrest. Push those hands on, get away, separation, there you go.
Right at the exact midway point of the fight. Franklin's most impressive in his highlight reel knockout was the left hand of Nate Quarry.
He just hit a nice straight left on Forrest Griffin.
Griffin again with the big kick. He likes the 1-2 kick combination.
That was a nice inside leg kick by Forrest. Attacking the right leg, the lead leg. When the guy's standing in a southpaw position, that back leg, it's a perfect technique, the inside leg kick.
Combination by Griffin, finishes with the head kick. Oh, he caught him.
Oh! Rich got tagged with a left hook there, Mike.
90 seconds now, Joe, in round 2. Jab.
Oh,
good
big
kick by
body
Griffin.
kick.
Franklin.
Rich is kind of like throwing that right hand. He's throwing a lead hook off the right hand.
Right hand again. It was well placed against Liddell.
Yeah, I'm wondering if his left arm is hurt, Mike. This is the arm that got broken. It's been kicked a couple of times because he's not throwing it. Like, look at that. There was an opportunity right there to throw the left. And he's mostly throwing the right.
I mean, I remember him talking to you in Vancouver saying he felt it immediately, feel the click in the forearm against Chuck.
Yeah.
30 seconds now on the clock.
It's a big power weapon, but he threw it there. But you know what? He would throw it if it was broken.
No question about it.
He did against Liddell. He threw it when Liddell went down. He hit him with a broken hand.
Good kick by Franklin.
Very nicely done.
Right at the end. Another head kick by Griffin.
There's a nice left hook by Forrest Griffin that rocked him. And there's a nice right hand after the kick by Forrest.
Good. Wrench this outside the cage for me. Go. Hey, okay.
Awesome round.
He's tired, and we need to make him reach for you, okay? With that hand control, baby, okay? Big, deep breaths. Nice, big, deep breaths. Put the ice pack on his chest, on his heart.
Control the center of the ring. Don't chase him around. Don't chase him around. Your time is
Big,
good.
deep
Straight left,
breaths.
land it in the
You're doing good. You're doing good. That last round was yours, okay? The first one's a little squirrely because they just held you down. We can't play with that, okay?
Slow your mind.
Don't let him get you against the cage and take your ass down. We need to be using the feet and staying ahead of him, okay? Hand control. I'd like to see a little better hand control. Make him reach for you. He's gassed. It's going to exemplify it.
Rob Radford, longtime coach and training partner of Rich's. George Gurgel, former UFC fighter, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And it's Griffin and Franklin with 5 minutes left in this fight.
This is it, last round, and bring it on, come on.
14-month layoff, as we mentioned, for Forrest. He said it was a bit too long, Joe, and he was a little nervous. Like you said, though, it allowed him some time to heal, and he needed it.
Nice body kick by Rich. Rich loves that left kick to the body. It's one that dropped Matt Hamill with and stopped him in their fight. Utilized it very well against Dan Henderson as well. And again, he's going for that right hand, but he's not throwing too much to the left.
Griffin, the second Ultimate Fighter alum to win a UFC champion, following Matt Serra. Third overall, Rashad Evans.
And Rich is trying to take Forrest down. And winds up taking down himself, back up to his feet.
You know, it's interesting, Joe, the night that Forrest Griffin was becoming the Ultimate Fighter, Rich Franklin fought Ken Shamrock. And they are still going strong today. Franklin looking for an opportunity to utilize his speed.
He's looking for that left body kick as well.
Forrest has got that right arm tucked tight to his rib cage.
Again with that left kick.
Yep.
I like how Forrest is throwing that body kick with the right leg and then following up with the right hand even before the foot comes down, kind of catching him off guard.
Under 3 now.
And Rich, I was just going to say, Forrest is circling to the power hand or circling towards Rich's right hook. And right as I was thinking that, Rich threw it.
And it is again. It's the pick your poison though with the southpaw, right?
Yeah.
Rich does such a nice job of mixing things up.
It's true, but you know, as I said, Rich's left hand, this definitely seems to be something up with it.
3 months to heal the broken bone suffered against against Liddell by Rich Franklin.
And he has been kicked on that same arm several times by Forrest.
Body. Just over 2. 2 minutes remain in this fight. Two of the most popular fighters in UFC history. Both men, former UFC light heavyweight champions. Forrest Griffin, one of the original Ultimate Fighter winners. Rich Franklin's boxing coach, Rob Radford, telling Rich to cut him off. Get some angles, score some points.
Forrest is fighting fairly cautiously in this 3rd round. Right when I say that, he gets the takedown. And that could be the fight.
Looking to push the pace here, Joe. Looking to step over and advance his position.
Looking for a Darce choke as well. Oh,
1 minute, Franklin on top.
Rich gets him down. Rich trying to step over the right leg of Forrest. He's stuck in guard right here. Now he's over it. Half guard. Look at that. Underhook allows Forrest to get back to his feet and reverses the position. And the scramble. Rich back up to his feet. And he eats a knee.
Back and forth. 35 seconds remain. Pressed up against the cage. Final 10 seconds.
Franklin's still pushing.
Fight goes the distance. Back and forth battle as many anticipated. Lots of mutual respect.
And there's that kick and then the right hand before it even comes down. Forrest landed that several times. And the takedowns by Forrest were a big factor in this fight. The ground control by Forrest.
Judges will render their decision. 12 career UFC wins for Franklin, 8 for Griffin. Who will earn the victory tonight? Forrest talking to UFC President Dana White. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Forrest Griffin.
Forrest Griffin by unanimous decision. He and Rich already breaking down the fight. Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Forrest Griffin. Forrest, congratulations. Long time off from the octagon. How's it feel to be back?
Oh, rusty. I mean, it's great to be back. Obviously, I wanted to win. I was so nervous. Camp didn't go right, you know. Woo, but I feel good now. All worth it.
When you say rusty, what did you feel affected? Did you feel your timing? What was different for you?
Well, you know, it's hard to come back after a year without people going that game speed, let alone a southpaw, you know, who's already quicker than me. Fortunately, I got him down to that first round, and I just was able to grind on him a little bit, and so I felt good the rest of the rounds going in, like I had built up a little lead.
Well, congratulations. It was an awesome fight. We look forward to seeing you again. Forrest Griffin, ladies and gentlemen.
Forrest Griffin defeats Rich Franklin by unanimous decision. We go inside the locker room of the champion, Anderson Silva, who said Vitor is a very talented and tough competitor, but I am confident that I will defend my title for the 8th time. Vitor Belfort, who enters tonight's title fight on a 5-fight win streak, including a knockout of the night victory over former middleweight champion Rich Franklin. Belfort said, "I'm back to the place where I built my legacy." And tonight, he plans on leaving as the new UFC middleweight champion. And now it's time for our main event of the evening. 5 rounds of fighting in the UFC middleweight division as Anderson Silva fights Vitor Belfort. We break down tonight's title fight. First, a look at the challenger. Vitor Belfort, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, has won 75% of his fights by knockout or TKO, including his most recent victory over Rich Franklin. Average fight length for the Phenom, just 5 minutes and 29 seconds. For the champion, Anderson Silva, who is 12-0 inside the octagon and has defended his title, a UFC record, 7 times. 58% of the Spider's victories have come by knockout or TKO. He's a very accurate and lethal striker, and as we've seen many times, he's also very elusive. His defense, as good as any in the middleweight division today. So the title's on the line, Joe. What are your keys to victory?
As far as striking goes, I would give the boxing advantage very slightly to Vitor Belfort, but Anderson Silva has a more comprehensive game, more knees, more kicks, more elbows, so I'd give a slight striking advantage to Anderson. Takedowns, you gotta go with Vitor Belfort. I can't remember the last time I saw Anderson take anybody down. Submissions, you gotta go with Anderson Silva. Anderson has submitted tough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts like Travis Lutter, and of course, Chael Sonnen in his last appearance, he submitted in the 5th round with a triangle. The last time Vitor submitted someone was Bobby Southworth, which was in Pride. As far as ground advantage, I would say that's a toss-up. Vitor may have a better top game, better at taking guys down, but Anderson has shown that he can submit guys off of his back. I would say that is a toss-up. Very, very close fight on paper.
Joe, you said right at the top of the show, this is the most marquee matchup in the history of the middleweight division.
No doubt about it. These are the elite of the division, the elite of the sport. Vitor Belfort is the most dangerous guy that Anderson Silva has ever faced. You know, we said that about Chael Sonnen, that he was the most dangerous guy. Up to that point, he was.
Right.
Vitor is on another level. There's another level with those hands. Those hands, you know, Vitor can catch you, and when he catches you, that patented Belfort explosion just comes out of nowhere. He's got that blitz that he does, where he'll throw 50, 60 punches inside of 5 or 6 seconds.
Sao Paulo, Brazil, Vanderlei Silva. Speaking of the Brazilian, Anderson Silva has never been beaten in the octagon.
Never been beaten in the octagon. The last time he lost in an MMA bout was many, many years ago. He is the most comprehensive, the most decorated fighter in the history of the UFC. He's got more title defenses, more consecutive victories. He's a bad dude.
He has always been one of the baddest men on the planet, but so has Vitor Belfort, which makes tonight's main event of the evening for the middleweight title one of the greatest matchups ever.
For me, it's about more than just going in there and fighting. It's much more than that. It's about more than two guys going in there and trying to beat each other up. It's about leaving a legacy of what I accomplished in this sport.
He's got the record for the most consecutive wins at 13. And the record for the most title defenses at 7. This guy is the best fighter in the world, period.
Good left by Anderson Silva. I mean, that's just amazing. Confident in his striking. Look at the hands. I think he really is trying to send a message. Looking to finish the fight. Anderson Silva. Are you kidding me?
Every fight starts standing up. And before the fight goes to the ground, Anderson Silva has an advantage over almost every single human being in the world. But if you wanted to build a perfect fighter to defeat a guy like Anderson Silva, it would be a guy like Vitor Belfort.
Wow, that's how fast Vitor can end fights.
The vicious straight left hand. That is Vitor Belfort's scariest and best weapon.
I have a goal to accomplish. I have a mission.
Vitor Belfort is the winner. Belfort looking to beat out.
Anderson's a very talented and gifted fighter, and I respect that, but I'm not afraid of that. I'm gonna face that.
Game, set, match, just like that.
I'm fighting the champion. I'm not there to not lose, I'm there to win.
Caught him, he heard him. That's the phenom. Triangle, watch out, triangle. He's taking it, it's all over.
And still, middleweight champion of the world.
Before the fight, a guy can say whatever he wants. I prefer to say nothing and let my skills do the talking.
He is the phenom, Vitor Belfort.
He looks remarkably relaxed, focused, but calm. If you've never seen Vitor Belfort fight before, he's one of the most explosive guys in the entire sport. He can change the course of a fight in a split second. And when he gets guys hurt, he swarms, and he swarms like no other. He has unbelievable killer instinct.
5-fight win streak, 4 by knockout or TKO. 13 career victories by knockout or TKO. Finished training camp with that man, the Hall of Famer, Randy the Natural Couture. Brought his entire family here to Las Vegas, so he would not be away from his family for training. They are so important, his wife, his children.
And this is the perfect time for this fight for Vitor. Vitor is a mature man now. He's been through so much in his career, so much in his personal life, and at 33 years of age, all that adversity has developed a true character now. He's just a different human being than he was in the past. Will that be enough to defeat the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet? That is the big question.
Vitor said, I'm back. Back to my house, to the place where I built my legacy. And tonight, I will give UFC fans a night to remember, and I will win another UFC title. The phenom, Vitor Belfort. Made his UFC debut in February of 1997.
I was lucky enough to be there for that, Mike, in Dothan, Alabama. Fought Trey Telligman and then defeated Scott Barroso to win the tournament. He was 19 years old, and no one had ever seen hands like that in mixed martial arts. No one knew what to expect. They knew he was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Carlson Gracie, but no one had any idea that he had the kind of hand techniques that he showed that night.
Will Vitor lead the new champion and stop the great streak of the Spider, Anderson Silva? Spent this entire training camp at home in Brazil, Anderson Silva holds the UFC record with 12 consecutive wins. The previous record was 9, held by fellow Brazilian great Royce Gracie, also John Fitch. Tonight, Joe, he looks for a UFC record 8th title defense.
As we said before, he's the most well-rounded, the most spectacular fighter in any weight class. But he's been the champion for a long time, and the weight of being a champ is constantly heavy on your shoulders. Being at the top, being a target for all these assassins. And tonight, the most deadly assassin in the division is across him in the octagon tonight.
None of his first 7 UFC fights went past the second round, starting with the 49-second destruction of Chris Lieben back in '06 in his UFC debut. Manhandled Rich Franklin not once but twice. Henderson, Cote, injury in that one unfortunately for the Predator, Talis Latis, Forrest Griffin, Damian Maia, and Chael Sonnen in the 5th and final round. Interesting, he said in the back and forth for many weeks. Vitor, fellow Brazilian, he said, Vitor, never a friend. Respect, yes, but they're ready to go to battle tonight with the big title on the line.
Well, he helped Vitor when Vitor was down in his career. He trained with him, and I think he was fairly offended when Vitor wanted to challenge him for the title. But, you know, this is a sport. When you're in the division, everybody wants to be the champ. There you see him with Steven Seagal. He has trained with Steven Seagal. Steven is an Aikido master, one of the very first in Japan. I mean, most people know him as a movie star, but he's a very, very accomplished mixed martial artist. And he has actually helped Anderson with some techniques.
His ribs were a bit banged up in his title defense against Chael Sonnen. The one thing we know about Anderson Silva, amongst all the great skills, his head movement is second to none.
His movement, period. I mean, he's just so fluid in the octagon, so calm, and he performs under pressure, Mike.
UFC middleweight title last changed hands in October of 2006 when Silva beat Franklin. Will it change hands here tonight? Our tale of the tape for our main event of the evening. The champion, 35. The challenger, 33. 2 inches taller. Silva will have the reach advantage. Once again, the veteran voice, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, with Chairman Bill Brady, Executive Director Keith Kaiser, Commissioners Francisco Aguilar, Skip Avancino, TJ Day, and Pat Lundvall. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at octagon side are Adelaide Bird, Glenn Trowbridge, and Saul Diamato. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki. And now, from the sold-out Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 19 wins, 8 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC light heavyweight champion, Vitor the Phenom Belfort! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a Muay Thai kickboxer and jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a professional record, 27 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, defending UFC middleweight champion of the world, Anderson the Spider Silva!
All right, I'm going to do a clean fight, fair fight. Follow my orders at all time. Defend yourself for all times. Você tá pronto? Tá pronto? Então vamos pra briga.
The wait is over. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
I got goosebumps.
Oh, tell me about it.
Here we go, first round, you ready? You ready? Let's go!
Here we go! Southpaw against southpaw. White trunks for Belfort. Yellow trunks with the black for Anderson Silva.
Vitor is classically an aggressive striker, whereas Anderson is a great counter striker. And that is one of the reasons why some of Anderson's fights have not really been that exciting. Guys like Patrick Cote, they didn't want to lead, so neither one did anything. They got sort of faced off against each other, waiting for the other to make the move.
Cote, the Predator, probably the last more pure striker or striking first-based fighter that he faced. But both of these guys, in addition to that, though, Joe, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts.
Yes. Yeah, Cote is the best striker so far. Vitor is on another level.
Against most of the world.
5 more levels.
Yeah. His flurries are those of legend.
And neither one wants to make the first move, especially this early in the fight.
Who will commit first? It's Belfort. Anderson starts getting that motion going, Joe. That's usually when he's set to get started. Two minutes into round one. The chance of Vitor.
Randy Couture very animated in Vitor's corner.
It was really amazing how many people booed Anderson at the weigh-ins and cheered Vitor.
So many fans have literally watched Vitor grow up inside the octagon, Joe. 19 years old, the Phenom, when he debuted.
I think it's that, but I also think that a lot of people really don't like Anderson.
I think that's fair.
There's been a bunch of fights. Oh, he tagged him with the left. The fights with Talis Latis, the fights with, you know, Damian Maia, where a lot of people felt like they were boring fights and they felt like they spent a lot of money on pay-per-view and they got ripped off. He goes for a head kick and he's down.
Right back up, though, is the Spider.
Anderson lands a knee.
Ducked under the head kick, took him down for just a split second. Now they're starting to open up. Vitor looking for the big left hand.
Outstanding head movement by Anderson.
Like we said, second to none.
Oh! He front kicked him in the face.
Absolutely right. Trying to finish. It is over.
Kick to the face.
Anderson Silva remains the middleweight champion.
A front kick to the face.
Wow!
By the way, that's the first time Vitor has ever been knocked out like that. He was stopped by Randy, but it was a barrage of punches grounded down over a long period of time. Wow.
Look at the class of both fighters. Anderson right there.
Let me tell you something, not only is that the first time I've ever seen anybody knock a guy out with a front kick to the face in MMA, in any contact sport, in karate, in taekwondo, in kickboxing, I've never seen someone get knocked out with a front kick to the face. I need to see that again in the replay. It happened so fast. Here we go, let's take a look at it again. Wow. It's almost like Vitor expected it to go to the body. I mean, he saw it coming, he didn't even move. Oh, right to the chin. Incredible. And that's just one of the things about Anderson. He's so unpredictable. He does such wild, unorthodox stuff. The front kick is classically a kick that's used to the body. When a guy gets hit in the face, usually it just knocks him backwards. But Anderson landed it perfectly, the ball of the foot to the chin.
And he remains the middleweight champion.
He's the best. He's the best that's ever been.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 25 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by knockout, and still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Anderson the Spider Silva.
Winner by knockout. That's what makes this sport so great.
All right, I'm here with the champion, Anderson Silva. Anderson, spectacular knockout. You caught him with a front kick to the face. Really an amazing knockout. Tell us how you feel about the fight.
Da luta, você nocauteou ele com um chute que ele nunca viu na vida dele. Explica da luta.
Eu acho que eu devo tudo isso a todos os treinadores que passaram pela minha trajetória dentro do esporte, na minha formação como homem, como pai, como filho. E eu devo isso a todos os treinadores, a todos aqueles que acreditaram e acreditam no meu potencial. E eu dedico essa vitória a todos eles. E ao mestre Steven Seagal, que me ensinou esse chute, ficou alguns meses me passando esse chute. A todos os meus treinadores, ao professor Dória, ao Ramon, ao mestre Pedro Riso, ao Dedé da Nova União, ao pessoal lá em Curitiba. Curitiba, um beijo para todos aí e agradecer a presença de todos vocês e a oportunidade que o Vitor me deu de lutar com ele. A gente faz o espetáculo para vocês, tudo faz parte do espetáculo e graças a Deus deu tudo certo. O Vitor merece todo o respeito de todos nós aqui. Antes de eu pensar em lutar, o Vitor já era campeão desse evento, então merece todo o nosso respeito. Obrigado pela presença de todos vocês. Ronaldo, tamo junto e misturado!
There's no way you remember all that, but give it a shot.
Well, basically, he said he wants to start off by thanking all of his trainers that he's ever had in his whole career that have helped him with all the different disciplines and gotten him to where he is today. Everyone in his life, his family, his friends. He wants to thank his coach for teaching him that kick that he did. And he wants to thank everyone in Brazil and thank everybody that supports him. And he wants to thank everybody out here for coming out here tonight and supporting. And last but not least, he wants to make sure that everybody respects Vitor Belfort, because before he even stepped foot in fighting, Vitor was already a champion. So he deserves the respect of everybody in this place.
Anderson, the technique that you landed, the front kick to the face, was this something that you saw in Vitor's style? Was this something that you had planned out in advance?
Isso era uma coisa que você estava programando fazer? Isso foi uma coisa que você viu que era um golpe que ia entrar com o Vitor?
Assim como todos os golpes que eu treinei, esse foi um dos que a gente treinou bastante para implantar na luta e deu certo, graças a Deus deu certo no começo da luta e só tenho a agradecer a todos. Valeu, Hamed, valeu pela força, irmão, valeu a todos que estão aqui, Minotauro, toda a galera, valeu, obrigado, amo vocês. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support.
He said that's just one of the strikes that he was working on, but he was really focusing on various different types of kicks and attacks. And once again, he just wants to thank everybody out there, thank everyone for coming, and Minotauro, of course, thank you.
Anderson, congratulations not only on retaining your title, but solidifying your position as the pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion, Anderson the Spider Silva.
Anderson Silva with the highlight reel knockout and the victory here tonight. He defeats the Phenom, Vitor Belfort.
Vitor Belfort. Vitor, obviously you're disappointed, you got caught. Give us your feelings.
First of all, I want to thank all you guys came over here. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support all my life. I've been away for a 1 year already. It's not an excuse. He caught me with a kick. Anderson Silva is a very good fighter. I got caught up. I was waiting. I was, doing my thing. I was waiting. My punch was landing, but he got caught. That's what champions made. And we'll be back. I know.
If you look at the fight, if you look at the kick on the screen, you see the kick coming. Did you expect it to come to the body?
No, he faked the body and he kicked to the head. Anderson's a great fighter. I've been training with him. He's kicking my butt in the gym. We trained together for many years ago. I came here, I promised I would put up a fight. I was gonna bring the fire for him, but he caught me, and that's what's happened. UFC, that's what UFC is about. We're here to fight. We're not here to bring him back. I came here to fight, and it's better night for Anderson Silva.
Well, you'll be back, my friend. You'll be back, I'm sure, better than ever.
I want to thank you, everybody that come over here. All my fans, my family, my trainers, Randy, Ray, all of you guys, I love you guys. Thank you very much. I promise I will be back here and I will bring the fire again. Thank you very much.
We know you will. We look forward to seeing you again. Vitor Belfort, ladies and gentlemen.
Gracious in defeat. The former champion Vitor Belfort knocked out by Anderson Silva in our main event tonight.